Okay, getting things started up here. What are we doing here? Are we coming on? Looks like we got some people on. Also looking on my side. All right, looks like there's commercials planned. All right, cool. So yeah, we got the live stream going today. I think you guys can hear me. Looks like there's 5 or 6 people on. A couple quick things as usual. It is a subscriber only. Well, it's not a subscriber only live, but you do have to be a subscriber to make a comment. So consider being a subscriber if you're not already. We have a 10-second timeout. So if you put in a comment, you just got to wait 10 seconds to put in another comment. Both of these are really just kind of measures to try to protect the community, try to keep people who are interested in the conversation here and exclude people who are just here to create crazy and chaos. So yeah, anyways, my own Boontog, everybody, my own Boontog. Also, too, I just want to point out the formats of these lives for me is to really just kind of deep dive into stuff that we can't necessarily do in a comment section. So really just kind of, that's what I see we can do here. I really like to get through all the comments, but I think more important for me is to just kind of really just jump into things, pretty deep if we can. And, for some reason I skip over a comment or don't get to you, reach out. There's a bunch of ways to get to me, and I'm really looking at which way is best. I created this Facebook group. I think there's a link on my banner page which goes to a Facebook Messenger. That seems to be working well. Instagram Messenger or Instagram is also a good way too. Email is probably the worst way, but those two options are really good, as well as like these lives. These lives are really a great way to connect also. So yeah, so here we are. Good morning in my own Boontag. Howdy from Long Beach, California. Yeah, beautiful. Come in. Yeah, nice. I've been out to California can't remember how long ago. Yeah, probably early 2000s I was out there. Santa Monica. My uncle was working at a Waldorf school, and I spent a little bit of time. Of course, I was born in Modesto, but I only spent like 2 years of my life in Modesto, so I don't, the longest I lived in one place actually was Colorado. Yeah, I consider myself more from Colorado than any other place. Clark, hey Chris, happy Tuesday in US. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, good evening. My own Gabii is how you say in Visayan, good evening. I think I'm saying it right. But yeah, good evening in the United States. Good morning here. It's really interesting, the whole concept of time to me since being here. And being at where it's at. So, yeah, cool. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, Clark. Joe. Yes, hello, Joe. Good morning, good evening. Ooh, Maganda Amagal. Or Amaga. Maganda Amaga. I'm not sure what that means. Interesting. Yes. Hello. Yeah, hey. How are you guys? We let's schedule. So there was a meet and greet that happened a couple weeks ago. I met a lot of vloggers here in the Philippines. It was really fun. Good times. So these guys are based up in a little bit north in Danao City, or Danos. I don't know how you pronounce it. But yeah, just north, maybe an hour or so. And we talked about doing this video where we try to catch a chicken out in the province. And I'm so excited to do that. But I've just been really busy, and also too, I don't have my transportation worked out. So we've struggled a little bit coordinating, but let's set that up. I think it's going to be hilarious. It'd be fun to get up there and check that out. So let's do that soon. Sean, hello. Yes, good morning, good evening. How's everyone doing? Hey, Chris, can you explain how you wire cash to yourself? Western Union. I don't use Western Union. So how I use an application called Remitly, but I'm seeing that there's probably better transfer rates out there. I think the best way to do it, and this takes a little bit of time, I think the best way to do it is just wire yourself bank to bank. So you get yourself set up with a Philippines bank account and just wire yourself money that way. And then you just go to the bank and pick it up here in the Philippines. But that takes, 3 to 6 months before you can really do that. So in that meantime, a lot of guys use ATMs, but you've got limitations there, like whatever, 15 to 30,000 pesos. Plus you have fees depending on your bank. So a lot of guys use like Charles Schwab or bank accounts that don't have any ATM fees. I personally just transfer myself cash with Remitly, whatever, 75, 100,000 pesos, and then just use that money until it runs out. Thankfully, a lot of my transactions are electronic still, like my rent, I can pay electronically, my electric, my phone bill, and my internet. So my big bills are all I can pay electronically, either with Gcash, which is an application, or just by wiring people money. So, but that's how I do money. I think it's a little bit different than most folks. A lot of people just use the ATMs, but I was a little bit concerned with using ATMs just because of the fees, as well as, the skimmers, the fraud, and, that Canadian couple that I bring up a lot in my blogs, honestly, they had some issues with their cards, and, they were really struggling to get money out of ATMs. So I've avoided that. And, but yeah, let me know if you got more questions on that, Chris. And yeah, thanks for being here, man. Mayong buntag, Jade. Yes, from Chicago. Good evening. How's the weather there in Chicago? Man, you guys get some intense weather there. I spent a little bit of time in Chicago, and really intense winters as well as really intense summers. So I don't have to tell you, of course, you live there, but yeah, I hope all is good there in Chicago, man. Hey, Chris, I'm coming out to Cebu in August. All right, cool. Any recommendations on hotels near IT Park? I want to be centrally located and be in the action. Yeah, absolutely. Hotels in IT Park. I don't know any hotels in IT Park. I know there's one right there in the mall. I think it's CETA, or so both Ayala malls here, IT Park, here in the business park where I'm at, and then the Ayala Mall over in IT Park, both of them have the same hotel. I think it's SEDA, but I think they might be a little bit expensive. I would just look around, and then just compare it to a map. The one hotel that I stayed at is actually here in the business park, and that's called Quest. And I liked it. It was fine. There's a lot of options right here in both areas, but I'm not familiar with any. Like I said, I stayed at Quest, but a lot of it too, Steve, just depends on how long you're going to be here. If you're here for a couple weeks or so, or it can add up, right? Maybe an Airbnb might be a better option if you're here for a while versus a hotel. But yeah, if you're just coming in and out for a couple days, lots of hotel options. I would just kind of look on a map. But yeah, as far as recommendations in the IT Park, nothing standing out other than the one that I've seen that's attached right directly to the mall. But like I said, I think that's a little expensive. Sorry, I don't have a better answer on that. Waldorf is very progressive. Yeah. So my uncle was part of that school back forever, I think. And he was a teacher there. Yeah, absolutely. I skip over. Okay. You got that one already. Sorry. The navigation here is a little bit cumbersome. I'll be honest with you. I'm still working through that. Yeah. I mean, still really new in a lot of ways, right? I've been blogging just over 3 months. It'll be 4 months here in a couple weeks, maybe next week. I think I've been blogging for 4 months, and then here in the Philippines for 6. So I'll be doing my 6-month video. I'm actually late. I've been over just now 6 months, and but yeah. Good morning from Manila. Yes, mayong buntag from Manila. I need to get out to Manila. I'll get out there sometime. I actually have a lot of friends in Manila that I met before moving out here. So several folks that I met through a website called Date in Asia. Really great site as far as making friends and connecting. I get a lot out of it. One precaution on that though, it's a very conservative site. So it's a free site, but you really want to, when you're interacting with people on there, you really want to keep it PG. No politics, none of that stuff, right? You have to be very, very careful. But I made some great friends in Manila through that site. So yeah, Manila's beautiful. Hey, Cully. Hey, Chris. I'm back in the U.S. until November. Okay. Did we meet? I met so many people recently. It's been awesome. Really connecting with people, loving it. Just really great. Yeah, good times. Yeah, I hope you had a good time here in the Philippines while you were here. I'm sure you did. It's a beautiful place to be. Tin Whistle, love it. Hey, Chris. It's Dean from London. Loving what you're doing. Yeah, Chris, positive attitude. I appreciate it, brother. I really do. And that's kind of a lot of reasons why I moved out here, is just to kind of surround myself with more positive energy, and to just kind of allow myself to be that way that I feel like I am. I felt like a polar bear in Florida, kind of where I was at. I was just, not in a good environment for me, right? And, not that there's anything wrong with Florida, right? And not that there's anything wrong with a polar bear, just wasn't a good fit for me and who I am. And this environment, this kind of positive, friendly, loving and caring vibe that's here in the Philippines is really just a good fit. So, yeah, man, Tim, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. My freedom. Hey, Chris, first time on your stream. Yeah, I'm welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah, really, I appreciate people being here and participating. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. G. Wyndham, the concept of time. Are you friends with Kamal? I don't know. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I should look it up. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, but I've kind of talked about this a little bit before. And a lot of my training, a lot of my hobbies outside are in the area of ontology and just looking at different ways of thinking and being. I've spent most of my life in that type of conversation, right? Yes. And we were so excited in that, Chris. Yeah, yes. Yeah, that video is going to be spectacular. Seriously, I can't wait. I apologize. I've been busy and we haven't been able to get up there yet. I'm still working on footage that I shot on Monday from a memorial or your Independence Day ride that I did. So I'm just buried and behind. And then I had another dinner with David Bond and met, his girls, and that was, dude, what an amazing guy that is, right? And I know it's controversial a little bit, but he's a good guy. And anyways, I'll go on about that. But I'm just really behind on my stuff, so we can do it. Gamer Wits, morning, Joe. Yeah, appreciate you being here as usual, Gamer. Appreciate it, man. Do you game at all? Are you playing the new? You playing the new Diablo? Just came out. Fun. JP, good morning. Saw your meetup with Bond and his harem situation. Yeah, man. Interesting kid, right? Well, interesting man. I should, he's half my age, not quite, but yeah, just a really interesting guy and very successful. He's built a channel of 500,000 subscribers, and he's built side businesses and stuff like that. So for me, and here's how it kind of came about, right? I mean, so there's some plugins and add-ins that I have in my browser that show me, when someone replies, it shows me if they have a YouTube channel and how many subscribers. Well, he replied to one of my videos, and I see here's a guy that's 500,000 subscribers, and I'm like I said, 3 or 4 months now. There's a whole world that I can learn from him. So I, reply back and say, wow, appreciate it. And then, one thing led to another where we've had dinner a couple times, and I've actually shot some videos with him and his girlfriend. So, and just like I said, the traditional stuff, how do I want to say this? I don't know how I want to say it, but I do think, I find him very, very interesting in his ways of thinking and his commitment to having relationships that work for him. Right. And I get that that's maybe not a scenario that works for everybody, but it is something that he's trying to create for himself. And, he's called himself a lot like a social scientist, which I also thought was interesting. So yeah, just a really, really interesting character, and excited to meet him and get to know him. And the girls that I've met, man, they're just absolutely adorable, sweet girls. So it was just good times. I use SendWave. Okay. I missed that earlier part. Oh, okay. Send yourself money. Okay. I've not heard of that one. Yeah, SendWave. You mentioned before someone called you Bruce Willis. Yes, Mr. Clean, Bruce Willis, Vin Diesel, Jason Stamos, Hank from Breaking Bad. When I was younger, I used to get one of the guys from 90210. I can't remember. Yeah, I have what also too, the Christopher, I think Christopher Atkins from Blue Lagoon, when I had really big blonde curly hair. I have a really recognizable face or way. People always related me ever since I was young to some type of actor or whatever. It's kind of interesting. But yes, I get that a lot. I get that a lot. Joe, have you ever been out to Mactan? I hear there are some good condo rental options out there. Yeah, Joe, I was actually out in Mactan on Monday during that ride, and Mactan is great. So it's not for me, but a lot of people like it. The problem I have with it is you're really isolated. So if you look at a map and you look at the Cebu region, that Mactan Island is really small, and there's really just not there's not a lot there other than the airport. So which is good and bad, right? You got noise pollution, you got air pollution with the airport, but you're also close to it. So I would say be in Mactan if you're going to fly or not. But you're really separated from a lot of Cebu, and to get from Mactan to Cebu, I mean, it's traffic, it's hard. It's just not really easy. The other thing about Mactan that, and I'm not saying this in a racist way or good, bad, or whatever, but there is a large Korean population also in the Mactan area. So whatever that is, right? Like I said, that's not good, bad, right, wrong, or any of that. But here, we're in a bubble here in like the business park and IT park, but it's mainly a Westerner. There's, lots of Koreans here too, but it's mostly a Westerner bubble versus like Mactan, which is more of a Korean bubble. So you got more like of that Korean restaurants and things like that would be out in that area, which, like I said, it's great. But for me, the main factor, I did stay there a week. No, more like 3 or 4 days right before I flew back in August back home. And I just didn't like how isolated I felt. Like I felt like I was away from the things that were important to me. But yeah, really a ton of rentals out there. You'll see in my video coming up all the big condo units. There's, half a dozen right there, and a lot of them are empty. So yeah, thanks, Joe. Jude, hey Chris, what VPN do you use? So I use what do I use? I think it's Shark. I got it from Geo. I was watching he recommended it. So I try Shark. It's fine. Honestly, I don't really use VPN too much. I use it mostly on my iPad, and I use it to like get like certain, like Netflix will change depending on where you're at. Like for me, I show a lot of Korean dramas and stuff like that. So if I put on my VPN and then launch Netflix, it'll show me more Western-based shows. Yeah, that's about it. I just use it on my iPad. Really, I don't really use a VPN on my laptop, just because I'm mostly here in my condo and I'm not worried about someone really hacking in. But yeah, Shark. I think Nord is another one that I've heard about. That's over here. So there's some options here, but yeah, I kind of feel like VPNs are overdone in a lot of ways. I mean, unless you're on a public network, yeah, I don't know, right? I'm not sure on that. I mean, it is a little bit important. We had them when I was in, worked for the law firm. Obviously, we had a VPN. It does encrypt your data as it's getting sent over, but I don't know. For me, some of it, I think it's just hype. Hey, Sharon. Yes, nice meeting you the other day. Yeah, appreciate you being here. Good times. Yeah, good luck on your trip coming up. I know you guys are heading out in here shortly, so safe travels. Yeah, absolutely. Good times. Yeah, thanks for being here. So cool. Jade, it's a rainy day today, but Chicago weather. Enjoy the Philippines. Yeah, right. Crazy weather there in Chicago. Probably some of the most, I think intense weather. Well, it's just extreme, right? You get the extreme cold and extreme hot. So yeah, good luck there, brother. Hope you make it back here soon, man. Chris, hey Chris, are you looking for a riding partner to the Motor Explode the Islands with? Yes, I might even buy a Royal Enfield again, so it would be cool too. Absolutely, man. So on the ride I did on Monday, I met several guys, and yeah, there's probably 12 or so gentlemen in that group, and really shout out to Earl and the guys over at Motoways for putting that together. It was such a great day. We got up, I met them over at the shop at like 6. We went riding for half the day and went and I had breakfast and then stopped somewhere and got some tea and stuff. And if you're on my Instagram, that picture that I took was from one of the places we stopped. And I've got a video. I'm just still working on editing. I got a lot of footage that I'm having to go through. But yeah, man, definitely come out. And I'm all about riding the Philippines. Actually, like I said, I met a couple gentlemen, and we've got a trip coming up to Dumaguete late July. And then I was already planning on riding out to Bacolod for the Mascara Festival in October, and they already have a plan for that as well. So yeah, I'm really connecting with some fellow riders here in the Philippines, and we're going to be riding all over. So absolutely, and this group is a Royal Enfield group, but whatever works for you as far as bikes. I also want to add to that, Chris, is that the process of buying a bike is extensive. I mean, I bought my bike over 2 months ago, and I can't really legally ride it yet. I got to get passes from the dealership that allow me to be on the bike for that day. So the registration takes a lot of time. But yeah, man, yeah, come on out, let's ride. Can you pay your water bill with a credit card? I don't have a water bill. It's included in my rent. It's part of the HOA in the building, and the actual owners pay that. So I'm not sure on that. But I would suspect, yeah, I don't know, right? Because a lot of these places don't really have online payments. So what I use is an application called Gcash, and that's how I pay my bills. And so I pay my electric that way. By the way, my electric bill was 4,000 pesos, which is the highest it's been. But yes, but you should be able to use Gcash to pay that bill. But I don't have a water bill to answer 100%. Christian, saw your video about the crocodiles. Where weren't any people there. Yeah, so yeah, really interesting too. So one, I think that the weather was a little bit rainy, but two, we went in the weekday in the middle of the day. So I think the weekends are packed. Glad you brought that up too, because honestly, it was a little bit of a challenge getting out there. I took a bus, and then the bus drops you off at like this market, and then you've got a half-hour ride up the mountain to get there. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the best way to get there if you don't have transportation, because they don't really have good ways to get there. And then so when the bus drops you off, then what you do is you hop on the back of a scooter, and then they ride you up a half hour up the mountain. I wasn't comfortable wasn't comfortable doing a back ride, as they call here, on the scooter. So we ended up getting a V-Hire to run us up from there. But that was 1,500 pesos, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's expensive for here, honestly. 1,500 pesos for a V-Hire. Hold on, I'm just getting up my conversion. I mean, so if you're here on vacation, whatever, right? It's not a big deal. If you're here on vacation and you want to go check that out, I would maybe just even get a taxi from Cebu to take you over there. Yeah, so 1,500 pesos is like $26. So a little bit expensive. And then on the way back, it was another 1,500. So, but what we did is we took that V-Hire all the way to Cebu. A little bit tricky, honestly, to get there. But you're right. It was really, really quiet when we went there. And I think it's just because we were there during a weekday. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Quest. Yeah, Quest is fine. I did that video in the Cebu Business Park, and that really goes over that area. So even in the beginning of the video, I'm shooting, you look right on the Quest, and then it shows you Ayala. I also talk about where JRC Visa is and what's the mobile Globe, the cell service, so you can get your SIM card and all that. So that's a really helpful video if you're moving here. I'll also show you where the grocery store is at. Even if you're just coming to visit, you could probably skip through the JRC Visa and the Globe piece, but everything is right there in that video, kind of goes through it. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already. Viking. Yippee-ki-yay. Oh, it's so funny. I don't know if you hear those shout outs that I do for you all the dang time. So Viking is one of the first guys that pointed out how many times I say holy mackerel. And since then, I try to catch myself, and usually it's afterwards. But as everyone talked about too. So yeah, dude, that's your catchphrase. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, it's just kind of funny. Hope you're good there, brother. Looking forward to seeing you out here soon, man. Yeah. Kali at the meet and greet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. No, I got you. It's hard for me to see the picture. It's, the pictures are tiny here. Plus, actually, my eyes are pretty good up close. But yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, you're back. I hope you get back here soon in the Philippines. Also want a workout partner at the gym. Chris, there's really good gym opportunities here too. The Anytime Fitness is right here. I'm a big fan. it's kind of a small gym. It's not the greatest like you'd have in the States, but it works. It'd be a little bit creative. There's also a functional 45, which is kind of like your Orange Theory, and some running parks, running like here in the business park. So yeah, man. Yeah, let me know when are you coming out here. Let me know when you're coming. Yes, please. Visit here in Manila. I love the 10-year meet and greet. Yeah, I definitely see coming to Manila. I do have some friends that, JoJo, who's been on here. I've known her for years, and several other folks too out in Manila. And plus, I want to experience it. I want to see it. I do. I don't. It's not like I hate Manila. It's nothing like that. But I did want a smaller city, and it's why I chose Cebu. Something a little bit smaller, something a little more accessible, where I still had the benefits of being in Manila, like good healthcare and a good airport, but at a smaller scale. And that's ultimately why I chose this area. But I definitely plan on hitting Manila. I definitely plan on hitting northern Luzon and those rice terraces and Baguio. I think I don't know. I'm not saying that right. But yeah, Manila's great. Good morning. Are you keeping busy in between YouTube videos? Man, I am slammed, Phil. I'm slammed. And a lot of it just because of my lack of experience. This is new, 4 months or so, less than 4 months. So just a lot to learn. Microphones, video, cameras, editing, and then positioning camera. Now adding moto blogging on top of that. Drone stuff that I haven't even started. My camera, photography. Yeah, dude, I'm slammed. And then business, right? I see a business that could be created out of this. So probably busier now than I've ever been, but it's fine. I'm liking it. I'm focusing on my health and then this channel. Because really what I see is, just kind of getting with YouTube, what I see is just really not getting through, but this first year will be a little bit challenging. I think just a lot of the steep learning curve, learning a lot, getting things down. But after that, I'm building something that could be, I could be helpful to a community of people who are coming out here. I'm just really excited for what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm definitely I'm pretty busy. Gamer, I presume you play Diablo 2, and yes, Diablo 4 is wrecking my life right now. I hear you, man. Yeah, I played a little bit. I haven't had time, but it's kind of, I'll get up at like sometime like between 5 and 7, depending on the day. Most of the time, around 6, I get up, and I'll go through comments and stuff like that. But after around 10 in the morning, after doing it for 5 or 6 hours, I'll jump over and maybe play a little bit or go to the gym. But yeah, good for you, man. It's been fun. I'm enjoying it. I think my character's like 18 or something like that. So just playing a little bit here and there, but it's good times. So, Chuck, what's up, Chris? 48 days till I fly. Oh, man. Good for you. Good for you. And Chuck, is this a vacation for you, a scouting trip, a move? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. Good for you, man. And where are you coming to? You coming to Cebu? Yeah. Hey, Chris, would you mind talking a little bit about your investigation trip to the Philippines before you decided to move there? Yeah, absolutely, Alana. ASMR fan. You know what? I really love ASMR too. I love it. Yeah, good stuff. Anyways, so my trip in August, I spent almost 3 weeks. I flew into Cebu. I went a little bit over in Balamban and stayed over there with my friend Christine, because we had been, Christine's been a friend for almost 3 years, so I went over there, and then we went over to Bohol. We spent a couple days in Bohol, and then came back to Cebu, because I knew Cebu would be where I was going to stay. So I really wanted to try to spend the bulk of my time in Cebu. So we did kind of a lot of back and forth and stuff, which honestly, I don't recommend. So for your scouting trip, if you're going to move to the Philippines and you're scouting it out, try to stay, just really try to stay in the town. I wish I did that. Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, I knew really, really quickly that this is where I wanted to be, that the Philippines was going to work. Right. So, but yeah, that's kind of was my thought process around that. Like I said, in hindsight, I wish maybe I stayed a little bit more in Cebu, and not that I've, yeah, I think for some people, just kind of a little more time digesting the environment would be good. And then, maybe even in that investigative trip, I could have explored more neighborhoods and set myself up maybe with some contacts and brokers to look for more long-term housing. Because when I got here, then So I did the scouting trip in August, and then I moved here in December, so that I spent, a good amount of time in December just really finding a place to live, and then did some scouting stuff. So that could have been something I could have done in the investigative trip as well, look at properties and housing and things like that. And I would have if I would have had more time in Cebu instead of bouncing all over like a tourist, right? Hit like, people. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, dude. Excited for you to come out. Yeah, really, it's going to be, yeah, and I know you're coming to Cebu too, making a ton of connections here, a ton of them. Some of the guys are on here now, just great people, brother. It's gonna be a good time out here. I'm excited for you, and I like your comment too, as far as this is just kind of on other channels that I've seen, where people are kind of, yeah. Anyways, so I think you're gonna do well out here, dude. Good for you, man. James, hey Chris, tuning in from Oregon. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it, James. What was your family's reaction after told them you're leaving? Family's reaction? What? You're going where? What is wrong with you? I mean, yeah, they were scared, and I think like most Westerners, we really don't have an understanding or an idea of the Philippines, unless you're here in this channel or others, right? You don't know, and we have this perception of what it's like, and so yeah, most people just have no clue. It's one of those areas I think that we don't. We have this picture of what it is, and then but yeah, now they're like, Chris, I haven't seen you this happy and this healthy in decades. So they get it now for sure. But the initially, it was rough. It was rough. And now even like, because I've got my daughter who's still in high school, and I've got my son who's in his late 20s. So even them, I'm not gonna lie, it was hard, especially with my daughter. But even then, now these relationships are getting worked out, and she's planning to come out here and hang out, and I'm really interested in her to go to school out here, as I've talked about in some of my other videos. I do feel the education system here is great if you pick the right university and school, and at a fraction of the cost, man. So yeah, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie, that decision to come out here and then building up to being here, it was hard. But once I got here, I really just I dove into the culture and the experience, and kind of got on track. So what part of Oregon, James? Yeah. Chuck. Video Geo did on his condo in Mocktown, I thought was pretty sweet condo. Yeah. So he stayed out there. He might have stayed out there recently, because I know they're planning their wedding, and I think it might be around that, right? But when he did a video in Mocktown, when I was watching him, it was right around Odette, a year and a half ago, and he was staying out there. It looked great. So it was still kind of in the midst of the pandemic, and there wasn't a lot of people there, which works for him. He likes the, the not so busy kind of thing. But for me, I do like a city life. But yeah, the Mocktown area is okay. I do think, you are a little bit isolated, and you're in a big Korean population. So yeah, those are two things to kind of consider. At Joey, and then those residents in Mocktown. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So she's got a video on some of the properties out there. It's awesome. Another guy I think too that does a lot of that stuff. I don't know if you watch him at all. It's Rod. I think it's Amazing Philippines is his channel. He does a lot of condo stuff, right? Which, whatever, man. I mean, no, I mean, not saying his channel, but what I'm talking about is get here and just start looking, do a 3 to 6 month lease, and then just use this time to just kind of grow. I suggest the IT park and the business park for your starting areas. I think they're the best places for us to be as foreigners, and then branch out from there. Like, you don't want a big city, got it, man. Plenty of options. But those two areas really get yourself settled in, and then boom boom. I would say if you're a really country guy, like if you don't like the city at all, maybe just do a 3-month lease, and that just gives you time to build up your stuff and then travel around, that kind of deal, right? And figure out where you want to be long term. We pay all our bills with Gcash. Yeah, Cully, same. I like it. I like Gcash a lot. Works well, easy. And even, local restaurants and coffee shops, you could use Gcash to pay your stuff too. So there's even some things like that. You just want to make sure you've got, an internet connection, because the connectivity isn't as good as you have in the West. By the way, how's Yoda and the girl who works at the Sorry store? Yeah, Christine and her mom, they're doing really good. They're really great. Good friends, good people. Man, they're the kind of people that you really want to meet. That type of person, just really sweet. Yeah, no, they're doing great. Really great. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Sidefish Gcash is extensive. Yeah, you can pay your taxes there. I'll be dang. What's sad is that they're starting to charge a convenience fee. Ah, okay. Used to be free. All right. That's interesting to know, Sidefish. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Sorry about my manners. I've been watching you since you started. I think I've commented on your videos a few times. Great vids. Yeah, dude, your manners are fine. Everything's been good. Yeah, thanks for watching. I know I recognize your handle. So yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate it, man. The channel's growing really well. There's been I think I've connected well with people out here, and in a lot of Filipinos. I have almost half of my audience is Filipinos. So and I love it. I love that the people here that I'm living with are appreciating what I'm up to. That's really important for me. I like that a lot. John Jasso, with all the traveling that you've been doing between the province and the city, there are certain luxuries in the city, but any desire for the country life? Yes, I do I do like the simpler areas. If you look at, when that video I did over in Balamban, I like it. I do. Just some conveniences. I like the gym. Being a single guy, the province for me, it would be a little bit hard, just because I'm not the kind of guy that really goes to the market and buys a bunch of fruits and stuff and then goes home and cooks. If you're that guy, the province life would be great. I'm more of a guy who eats more, so maybe I could see myself, like, if I was married, John, that kind of thing, and then the province would be a better situation for me, where like I said, married life, where I'm able to cook with my wife, and we'll cook together, kind of thing. Then I could see myself. But for me as a single guy, I like the city life, just because that type of thing. But I do love the province life. I love the simple side of it. I like how quiet. Well, you got roosters and karaoke, but I do like it. I like both. And you can have that. Balamban, where I shot those videos, John, it's an hour away. These islands are relatively small. You stick towards Cebu. You've got access to major medical. You've got access to whatever shopping or things that you need. I know guys that just come into Cebu like once a month, and then live out in the sticks. But it's also too, I think, John, it's different in the provinces. It's not like Nebraska, South Dakota, those real country areas with big open. I guess if you get up in the mountains, maybe it's like that. But even in Balamban, it's packed. You got a lot of people in a small area, and the living spaces aren't very big. So it's different. It's different. Like, holy, Gcash is everywhere. Yeah, I like Gcash. What's up, man? Gary on wheels. Nice, brother. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Thanks for being here. Really cool. New to the channel. Do you have a job outside of YouTube? I don't have a job outside of YouTube, so I moved here semi-retired. Bulk of my assets are in retirement 401k that I can't touch until I get 59 and a half. I'm 52, so I got 8 years. I'm doing YouTube a little bit so I moved here with just enough cash, right? Just enough cash to get me to 60. And then once I'm 60, I'm fine. But so I do YouTube, just kind of bridge that gap a little bit. So yeah, I don't really have any other work. If I need to, I did IT work for 20 plus years. If I need to, I'll fall back on doing some support stuff. The nice thing about being here in the Philippines is you don't really need to make a lot of money, so yeah. So I'm kind of semi-retired. I'm not really working, although with YouTube, I'm putting in a lot of work. And the other thing about YouTube is just so much opportunity here, not just in YouTube, but I see a lot of things I could be doing around generating income, as well as helping people. There's a lot coming. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Joey, or Joe. Yeah, Mega World Newtown. Yeah, it's all right. I just like there's a couple things to consider out there. Yeah, it's a bubble, and it's a different kind of bubble. And you're isolated. You're on an island. You know, when that Odette came ripping through, they got hammered. They got absolutely hammered. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's different. Have you been to Bohol yet and seen the little creatures with big eyes that live up in the trees? Yes, the Targines. I have seen those, and they're beautiful little guys, right? Little guys, big old eyes. Yeah, I've been to Bohol, saw the Chocolate Hills. I want to go back because it was during that scouting trip, and I only had a couple days. Bohol is beautiful. I can see why a lot of people love Bohol. It's really, and that might be if you're like a country guy, that might be where you go because it's not far from Cebu. It's a ferry ride, although I think there is an airport. So yeah, that might be where you go. Honestly, if that's your more quieter, not so much a city guy but a country guy, yeah, Bohol might be a really good option actually. It's a move. Nice, man. Nice. I'm going to start out in Duma and spread out from there and see where I feel comfortable. But I'll come over to Cebu some. Nice, Chuck. Yeah, man. Good for you, dude. Yeah, Duma's great. I'll be going to Duma in late July for my first time. The guys that I was talking about that I met on Monday for the ride, they're doing a ride over there in Duma. So really excited about checking it out. So yeah, Duma is a great option. My one concern about Dumaguete and really that whole Negros region is the power issues that they have. They'll be out of power like once a week for like all day. So I didn't. That was one of my concerns there. Yeah, but congratulations on the move, Chuck. Good stuff. Let me know how I can help. I'm looking forward to meeting up in Cebu if you come up here. Westerners totally change their overall character when they live here. Maybe 80% of them change. I agree, gamer. I agree. And I think the same goes the other way, right? If you have a Filipino move to the United States, we'll just adapt. We'll adapt to whatever culture or whatever community is going on there. So yeah, I think you're right on. I've changed. I've changed a lot. I'm becoming a little more patient, a little bit. I've changed physically. I can feel myself getting healthier. I feel myself getting stronger. There's this whole dynamic around dating, though, for me that's really been interesting. And I'm kind of changing in that regard, too. There's just so many more options here than what we're used to in the West. So, yeah, we change a lot, which is great, right? We're coming over here from a society that, isn't very happy. And, we get to be around people who are, happy. I was talking to some people yesterday. I can't remember who that was, but they were, talking about the Filipinos are happy no matter what. Even, during Odette, when it came through, they're just happy people, no matter what the circumstances or situation. Yeah, it's just, I love that. I really do. I fit in well with that. Guys at my former work called me rainbows and unicorns guy, so I really, I like being around that type of culture because that's who I am as well. Speaking of Geo, has he ever cleared, is he even cleared to remarry with his family troubles? I don't know. I would suspect so. I would suspect Geo's on top of that. He seems like he's, in tune with that. Like he's divorced. So, JP, it's easy for us to get, not easy, but it's very easy for us to get a divorce. Matter of fact, I don't know if you watched Rike's video that he put out about, I think it was like white paper marriage or something like that, or the white paper Filipino, but it's really easy for us Westerners to get a divorce. I'm divorced and legally divorced. So, I mean, it's not easy. It's hard, but it's possible. Versus here in the Philippines where it's impossible. You can get legally separated, but getting a divorce here, getting an annulment is almost impossible. I'm not a legal professional and don't don't take my legal advice, but that's my understanding anyway. So, wow, you're currently closing on 10,000 subs. Yeah, congrats on the YouTube success so far. Best luck continuing. Yeah, I really appreciate that. It's been it's been growing really fast. It has. It's doing well. I'm having fun with it. You know, and I talked about that and why I created my YouTube uh, channel is I'm really connecting with people. I've met some, some great friends. I'm really having fun with it. It's been a good time. Yeah, and for the most part, it's been a very positive experience. There's whatever, some people that I've met or whatever that there's been some drama around, but 99% of people have been. It's been a really good time. Hmm. BJ, my own Boontog, BJ. Yes, thanks for being here, man. My own Boontog. Thank you, no man's. Yeah, Bonabon. I love Bonabon. Yep, great area, and not far from Cebu. An hour and a half max. Granted, that road is a little treacherous, and if there was a problem with that road, which there is a lot, where it washes out, then you're looking at a little longer trip. But yeah, just on the other side of the island. The other thing that's really interesting about that side of the island or Balaman, the weather is different. You know, they get a lot more. It's a lot more humid over there. The heat bothers me over there and doesn't really here in Cebu at all. Hey, Chris from Celso from Utah. This is Celso from. Oh yeah, hey, how's it going? Yeah, Utah's beautiful. Wow, yeah, really beautiful area. I was in Colorado for a long time, neighboring state there. So yeah, beautiful. I spent a little bit in Salt Lake City. The company I worked for had an office in Salt Lake City. I've been out there a couple times, but yeah, beautiful. Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. How much was your flight? Did you fly out at LAX? Yeah, so I flew Denver to LAX, LAX to Taipei, and then Taipei to Cebu. That was my flight in December, and then in August I flew same Denver to LAX, LAX to Manila, and then Manila to Cebu. So I think both of my flights were around 1,700 US when I did them, which I think is cheaper than it is now. And I definitely so two things around the flights. I would do them at night if you can. That way you can sleep a little bit better. I still didn't really sleep that good, but I did on the when I did the second flight I did at night. I felt a lot more rested. The other thing I think that worked for me is I got like an aisle seat, which so I'd nap and whatever, and then I could get up and walk around, and that helped as well. The first time I flew out in August, I got a window seat, thinking I would use the window to sleep, but I really didn't sleep that good, and then I was stuck in my seat and couldn't really move around and stretch. And just getting up and getting that blood circulating was very, very important for me, even though I still didn't really sleep a ton. But yeah, so around $1,700. And I also liked Taipei to Cebu. It was easy airport to navigate versus Manila, which took, I think I had like a 3 or 4 hour transfer in Manila, and I needed all of that time to get to the gate. It was kind of difficult to navigate. I think that's cool that you're able to maintain platonic relationship with the ladies. I've tried. Christina and I, we date casually, and that's hard here in the United States. Or in the United States, it's hard in the United States, yes, but it's hard in the Philippines. And I think the other thing about that, I just haven't met anyone in Cebu. I haven't, and I know a lot of people are shocked at that. I was chatting with a friend last night about that, and they're like, "What do you mean you're not meeting anybody?" I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, I get out, I do stuff. Yeah, I'm inside and I edit, but I'm out at IL Mall 2 or 3 times a day. Sometimes for lunch, for dinner, and hanging out in the thing. But I think some of that is just me. Like I have I'm like a horse with blinders on. I don't really see, and I'm also not completely in tune. Like if a woman is flirting with me, and some of that I had those problems in the United States, and that's just kind of compounded here by the shy nature of the Filipinos. So, but yeah, I just don't. I haven't really dated, so. But my friendly relationships in the United States the same way. I mean, my ex-wife and I mean, granted the divorce was hard, but we're still really good friends. I mean, we're really good friends to this day. And I just, I like to create a foundation of friendship with anyone I'm dating, so I think that's another aspect of that. But yeah, no, it's thanks for pointing that out, because honestly, that's something as a human being, I'm really proud of, that I can create these connections with people, and where I'm have intimate relationships, and even when that part maybe doesn't work out, that we're still able to maintain a friendship. So I appreciate you pointing that out. Thank you. Back at James, been walking the river a few times, get up and down. Yeah, okay. You know, I like amazing Philippines guy. His accent reminds me, yes. So I have a little bit of that too. You probably hear it in my O's, because I lived in South Dakota as a young kid. But Rod, great guy. He's the kind of guy that whenever I meet him, I won't recognize his face, right? Because he does a really good job of hiding himself. But as soon as he talks, man, that's Rod. Yeah, I hear you. No, he's a good guy. I haven't met him. I'd love to meet him. I'm sure I will at some point. Did you look at the rule of 55 for 401k withdrawals? I did, James. And my understanding of that rule is I have to still be employed. And that was my original plan, James, when I was going to retire at 55 and then move out here, and then I can make withdrawals penalty free. But I couldn't wait. I'm 52. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. And I looked at my cash and I was like, you know what? I can get to 59 and a half, just barely. And then my plan was maybe I could make a couple bucks with YouTube to give me some cushion. And that is all working out, honestly. So, but yes, the rule of 55, it was something I looked at. It was part of my original plan. However, now that I'm unemployed, I'm not technically working for anyone. I believe the rule requires you to be employed, and then you can flat out quit or get laid off or any of that. But you have to be employed by that employer that where your 401k is at, and then you can withdraw penalty free. So unfortunately, my understanding of that is I don't apply for that, James. But yeah, brother, let me know, because that would be, I mean, things are working out for me, honestly, but just that security, right? That cushion, and I could still pull from that if I absolutely had to, but yeah, whatever, 20, almost 30% or maybe more tax rate, whew, it's almost not worth it. But it is kind of my emergency backup plan if I absolutely need to, because I'm good there as far as what's there. Hey Chris, can you play the guitar? I started learning the ukulele, but no, I don't play the guitar. I started playing the ukulele though. But yeah, I haven't played much here either. I was talking, so I've got some friends, JoJo, stuff that they play the ukulele, and really got me into playing it. And but I do plan on learning. How about digital nomad gigs? I see folks online talking about just watching vids to make money, affiliate links, typing jobs, etc. Yeah, JP, digital nomad's a great way to do it. I mean, you just have to be careful too legally. With your tourist visa, you just want to be cautious around that, right? But you're absolutely right. I mean, it's really smart. Come here to the Philippines, make American wages, and live on, Philippines cost of living. I mean, holy mackerel. That's just really smart, because then you could pocket a ton of cash, especially, there's a couple of my other lives. There's some younger folks who want to come out here, and that's the way to do it, because then you can save. Let's say you can save 50% of your income, and you work for 10 years or so out here in the Philippines, being a digital nomad, making six figures, or whatever, 50, 60 grand a year, and you're able to save 30 of that. It's smart. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. I agree, JP. And a lot of jobs, right? You don't have to do YouTube. You can do a bunch of stuff, ton of stuff. And you only need to make, so for me, right? So let's say, like in my situation, let's say you're in your 40s or 50s, and you're trying to do exactly what I'm doing. You're trying to get to 60 to get to your assets that you've saved for whatever 20 years. But so you're in your 40s or 50s, you could do that, exactly what you're talking about, JP. It's what I did. You come over here, you get maybe a job where you're making 25, 30 grand a year online, and then you use that to get you to retirement. That's the way you can do it now. Yeah, good stuff, JP. Clark, I have a beer. I love the 360 camera. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. So cool. Yeah, the 360 camera, right? What a unique experience that is for people. And with the Apple VR stuff that they just recently talked about, I wonder how that's going to play out, right? I wonder if that is now going to even kind of build that type of content. I don't know. I find it interesting. And I like shooting with it. It's got its limitations and it's time consuming. You you have like 2 edit processes. You got your first edit process within the Insta360 software, where you set the keyframe, and then you've got the second edit process now that you import into your video editing software. So it is a little more time consuming. I don't really know any different because that's all I really shot on, but it does add to it. It does really add to it. But thank you, Ran. Really appreciate that. Really do. Thank you. Are you monetized yet, Jack? Yeah, Jack, I got monetized. I think right around 2 months, a little bit less than 2 months. I had a couple videos that did really well, like why I moved to the Philippines, hate culture to happiness. That video did really, really well, and it's actually still performing. I think it's got close to 150,000 views or over. So yeah, I got monetized pretty quick with some videos, and it's been great. Whatever. I mean, I think the first month I was like $150, so it's not a lot of money, but and again, I'm not needing a lot of money, right? Really, a couple bucks. Ideally, if I can make between 1,000 and 2,000 to cover a lot of my expenses, that's kind of what I'm shooting for, which I think is completely doable, given kind of where I'm at and the connection that I have with people. So yeah, spending any time on the pool table, brother. I used to shoot. I haven't shot in a long time. I used to shoot in a bush league in Colorado. But yeah, I haven't shot in a long time. I used to be really good. I think my handicap was like a 3 or a 4 in the bush league. So, it wasn't a 6, but I beat my share of 6s. I think the highest handicap I had was like a 4. But yeah, I used to shoot a lot. Hey, how's it going? Hello. Yeah, so another vlogger, I believe. Yeah, up in Davao City. Can you support yourself by doing YouTube, or do you have a second job to survive in the Philippines? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I'm living off of investments and things like that. But, a lot of my stuff are in the markets. So I got like a couple years worth of cash that I can live off. But after that, a lot of my stuff's in the markets. So, which has been kind of a roller coaster, right? So ideally what happens is I don't need to touch any of that stuff. I can just let it sit and bake. And then, I think that's how it's playing out, honestly. So should be good. Yeah. So I don't really have any second jobs. And if I need to, I can go back to IT work. There's really a bunch of stuff because, you don't need to make a bunch of money. You don't. 20, 30 grand a year cover most of your expenses. Now, granted, you wouldn't want to move out here and have that without any other kind of like a 401k or that. But if you're coming out here early in your 50s, like, sorry, I got a cramp on my leg, like Viking and I did, or he's gotten ready to do, then you'd be good. Sorry, I got a cramp in my leg. Oh, dude, what's that movie? I'll never forget this, right? What's the Cheech and Chong? I've never heard my dad laugh so hard in my entire life. There's a scene in the Cheech and Chong movie where the guy gets a cramp in his leg and they're in the van. Oh, that was hilarious. Anyways, I'm flying Tulsa to Dallas to Tokyo to Manila to Duma. All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah, careful with your sorry, my leg is cramping up. Careful with your Manila connection. That it's an airport you're gonna need some time, man. And the bad thing about it is you've just flown, whatever, 13 or 14 hours, so your head isn't quite on you. But just be mindful of that airport. Manila is a lot to navigate, Chuck. So yeah, safe travels, brother. Ooh, tickets round trip from Chicago, 635. Wow, that's barato. That's cheap. Good for you, man. Well, you were impatient once. Seems so mellow. Yeah, I can be a little intense. I'll be honest with you. I worked in the legal industry for 20 plus years, working with attorneys. You know, I can be a little intense, honestly. I mean, look, who I like to be is this chill, happy, go lucky guy that am currently. But you know, I've been an American working in the legal industry. Oh, too funny. Hey, Chris, have you thought about getting an instant? I did think about the RS. It's a little more expensive, and I don't know if the value is there for that little more camera that you get. I mean, I think you do get some better imagery, no question, but it's bulky, it's big. I really like the indiscreet nature of this 360 camera. Oops, sorry. A lot of people don't know that I'm, they don't even know I'm filming, which is key to get that perspective, that unique, that authentic reaction from people versus, if you just got a camera pointing in their face, like a lot of people do with a GoPro. You get a camera out there pointing in someone's face like that, where they even, they see themselves, But as far as the RS, it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit bulkier, and it's a lot more expensive. I just don't know if the bang for your buck is there with that RS. So yeah. Aloha, brother. Hey, Fresh. Love your channel. Did you get a chance to go to Leyte area yet? I'll be in Ormoc, Leyte in August. Can't wait. So I have a friend actually who is in that exact area, and we might be actually doing some stuff where we're working together. So I actually might be in that Ormoc area in Leyte at some point. So we'll see. I just kind of connected with her last night. She's a friend that I met on online, and we've been talking now for whatever, a year or so. But yeah, I might be actually going out to that area. We'll see. We'll see how things go on that. But yeah, dude, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Yeah, John, love your honesty. You know what, brother? I try, and it's not always easy, right? It's not. It's can be quite difficult at times. But I just think as humans, the more authentic we could be, the better off we are. You live in lies and deceit. It's just, I don't know, crazy and chaos. It's a world I try to avoid whenever I can. And being upfront and honest, I think, is the approach that works for me. Christian, do you think it's easier to make friends there in the Philippines than in the United States? Absolutely, Christian. I've met more people here in the Philippines and developed stronger friends than I've had in ages in the United States. It's been really great. I love it. And just the people, the Filipinos really like Westerners, and they really like Americans. Our culture is really a big part of theirs. And so they have, as long as there's a saying that several folks have said, you get what you give. So you get back what you give. If you're a kind, generous person that's here with good intentions, you are going to meet some really amazing, incredible people. And I've made friends already in the past couple months than I've had, in a long time in the United States. I had some good friends in the United States. Most of the guys that I've worked with for like 6 years, 16 years, the guys like that I rode motorcycles with and things like that, but yeah, the friend making here has been a lot easier for me. And honestly, I struggle with making friends, kind of like with dating. I think people look at me and they have this perception of who I am, and they don't approach me. They're either intimidated or whatever. And so yeah. John, so here's one of my Filipino friends. Not meeting any girl. We'll have to do something about that. Mayam Buntag. Yes. Mayam Buntag, brother. This guy is great. He's an attorney here in the Philippines. And he and I have become great friends. We've hung out, I don't even know now, maybe a bunch of times. He's introduced me to all kinds of people, in different aspects of the Philippine culture, upper class, middle class. It's been really phenomenal. So appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yes. You let me know. I'm around. Yeah. Exercise, we've been running together, doing lunch. So just really friendly people here. Yeah. Thanks, man. See you soon, brother. Smiler, Jojo. Yes. So cool, Jojo. Yeah, so yeah, people were asking about guitar and ukulele. I don't know if you were here at that time. I said, yes, you're the one that got me into playing ukulele. Good morning, girl. Hope you're good. Hope you're good there. And other people too were talking about Manila. I'll get something together at some point and head up to Manila. When I do, I'll for sure let you know. Yeah, good stuff. 8,000 subscribers. Yes, Rory. It's growing fast, isn't it? It's growing really fast. It's great. I'm really happy with the growth right now, and I say that because there was a point early on in the channel where it grew rapidly, and I don't think that's good for any channel, But the slow kind of steady growth, I mean, it's still fast, but the steady growth that I'm experiencing now I think is great, and it's coming from a variety of different videos, and not just, was really one because that hate culture to happiness, that's not content I'll probably really do a lot of, that kind of drama stuff, you know. But anyways, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's coming together. Hello from Albuquerque. Really enjoying your content. I have a coffee on me. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah, thanks, man. So cool, guys. Thank you, Albuquerque. Beautiful. I've been to through Albuquerque. You know, I know you're right on the border of the Grand Canyon, right? Yeah, really beautiful there too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a part of the United States I've been in a little bit, but not a ton. But I do know it's beautiful. Flagstaff area too, really gorgeous. Fresh, you're right. I'm 57, just left the company. Took out a tiny fraction of money from my 401k with no state tax penalty because I'm over 55. Yep, love it. Hope we connect over there. Yep, brother. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking to do too. Yeah, good for you, man. I'm sure we will, especially if things kind of work out uh, with my friends in Leyte there. I definitely plan on traveling around Southern Leyte, but I think it's an area that you need to have a little bit of connection in to kind of go around. So, yeah, thanks, Fresh. James. Yeah, good luck on your trip to Luzon someday. You mentioned rice terraces. I'm talking to an American who's going there in a year or two to do a documentary of the tribal folks there on YouTube. Might hook you up. Cool, dude. Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I'd love to meet up. Bought an Insta 360 after watching your videos, James. You know the footage that you get from that, especially well, it's unique, but it is a learning curve. You know, you have to really learn how to set that video and set that frame. It's an adjustment. It is, but it's incredible. It's really unique, really unique. I landed in Manila the night before my flight to Duma, going to grab a hotel in Manila before going back the next morning for the final flight. Okay, yeah, got it, Chuck. Still. So you want to plan for a long time to get to your gate, even in that scenario. You know, the Manila airport is very, very time consuming. Like, you know, in the United States, right? When I'd fly out of Denver, I'd give myself I would get to Denver 2 hours before my flight, kind of thing. In Manila, it's you know, I don't even know what time, 4 hours, 6 hours, maybe with someone a little more experienced. Jojo, how many hours should this guy give himself to fly out of Manila? Do you know, or anyone? Because that's you want to be careful. You'll lose a bunch of time in Manila. But yeah, safe travels, Chuck. Yeah. Viking, I forgot to tell you on the yes, congratulations on the Nuggets. Yes. Nice to see Joker get the final MVP after getting snubbed. Yeah, regular season MVP. Yeah, it's really great for Denver, which is funny. You know, I'm actually more into basketball here than I've ever been. It's big. It's a big sport. There basketball courts everywhere. And I had forgotten it was on, but then I remembered it was like 10, it started at 8:30 in the morning here, and then I turned it on at like 10:30 and watched it. And so I saw the last 4 or 5 minutes and I was excited, but I was messaging, you know, my ex-wife and my daughter who are still in the Denver area. And I said, hey, heads up, you know, it looks like the Nuggets are about ready to win. Probably want to avoid downtown just in case there's any craziness. And they're like, what are you talking about? It's like the Nuggets are in the NBA finals. And these are people who live in Denver, right? So there's just, you know, just it's not a big sport in the United States, especially as it is here. You know, it's massive here. Really fun. Off the cuff adventures with Jamie. Yeah, good stuff, Chris. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it, Jamie. Thanks, man. I would assume are you in the Philippines? Are you over here? Yeah, cool. The Insta 360 RS is supposed to do better in low light. I remember you were having some issues with that. I believe the sensor is bigger on it. It's pricey though. It is, and you're absolutely right. It's a 1-inch sensor. It is supposed to be better in low light because of that. But like that's about the only pro. Yeah, so you'll have better imagery. You'll have better low light imagery. But when I was looking at comparing the two models, there wasn't a lot of gain for the price. So I decided to just go with the X3. But you're right. It's a little bit better in low light. I've just learned to actually what I do now when I'm shooting indoors is I turn off HDR mode and I just shoot regular. And I think that has helped out with the buzziness of the lights. The other thing too that I got present of is how to position the camera. So when you're shooting, you want to be mindful of the stitch. So you don't want to turn it, sorry. Yeah, you don't want to turn it on the side. You want to be mindful that you want to shoot, you want to have it so the camera's lining up that way, and just you want to be mindful of the sides, or what they call the stitching area, because that's where you're going to have your problems, right? So just some things that I've learned about the camera and the dynamics. But the RS, does look like, it's bigger though, right? And I like how kind of small this is too. Hopefully the X4, as they're coming out, I do think with the Apple VR stuff, these kind of cameras might do really well. JP, his channel Fit for Survival, trying to see if he can be trying to see if he can be a bit of a guide for him. Okay, the nature and mossy forest up there, yeah, just incredible. Make me want to any excuse to go up there. I bet, man. It's beautiful. Northern Luzon does look. It is on my radar, and I will see it. So a lot of this for me. The other thing, JP, that's there for me is these guys that I met on Monday. They're telling me about the riding. The riding in Negros is some of the best that they've been on. Just the roads. You got some really cool scenic beach roads, as well as some really cool mountainous jungle roads. And I'm so excited about filming that. So I'll probably do Negros. I'll probably do Leyte and some of Cebu, and then make my way to Luzon. It might be a couple years before I get up there and do a lot of stuff in northern Luzon, but it's going to be something I'm going to be doing. So just kind of starting off. Stay tuned. It's coming, but it might be a couple years before I can do any really stuff in that area of the Philippines. I see, hopefully getting over Manila in the next year just to meet some longtime friends like Jojo. But yeah, good. Thanks, JP. Good stuff. Have you tried any exotic foods yet? They're like balut. No, I have not tried balut yet. Exotic foods. I've tried a lot of street food. I mean, I would kind of, coming from the United States, I would classify that or characterize that as exotic foods. Just food on a stick but yeah, I haven't. Sig is another one I haven't tried that I maybe try that's really popular. I've tried a lot of the fish. The fish is really good. I love the fresh fish. Living in Colorado, didn't really have access to fresh fish, so I'm really liking the fresh fish here. But haven't tried any of the super exotic stuff yet. But Jan, he's gonna be taking me on a food challenge. He's already said this. He's like, Chris, we got to get you on a food challenge. And but yeah. So yeah, there'll be some exotic food stuff coming. Sorry, I got lost in my place here in the comments. Speaking of cramps, I had them bad yesterday after working on my car out in the Florida sun. Definitely dehydrated, maybe mild heat injury. I had a leg cramp on my flight from Philippa, Thailand. That was terrible. Yeah, so I ran with Jan and those guys yesterday. Plus, I worked out at the gym, so my leg just cramped up right there. Probably a little bit dehydrated as well. It's rough getting old, man. It's rough getting old. Although I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. Joe, Aro, hey girl, how you doing? Good morning. My own boontog. Off the cuff. I'm in Canada. Back to Davao in September. Nice. Yeah, Davao City seems. That was so. When I was first looking at the Philippines, I had two options for me. I had Cebu or Davao City, and I think Davao City is another great option for us. I do. I like, but the thing about that got me here to Cebu is just the more centrally located stuff. I could take ferries. I could take planes. Davao City's got a big airport, right? You can fly anything out, but the ferry, like if I wanted to take my motorcycle to Luzon, it's easy. If I want to take it down to Negros, it's easy. If I want to take it Mindanao, it's easy. Versus, trying to get out of Davao City up to areas via Roro is a little more challenging. But yeah, beautiful there. Yeah, and Davao City is actually my typhoon evacuation plan. So if a big storm comes ripping through, right, like Odette, a couple years ago, I'll be heading to Davao City. So. Oh man, thank you. Appreciate it. It's so cool. Thank you guys. Really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Good stuff. Thank you. Tin Whistle. I prefer MotoGP. Contact sports like boxing, UFC. Eat will. UFC, etc., and we'll call soccer, but it's called football. Do you show much of those sports? And do they show much of those sports? Yeah. So there's a place I see up on here in Iowa Mall. It's called the Social. They often have a lot of they actually have a lot of contact sports. They have Australian football. They have football, the soccer football. They have a lot of that. Not a lot of MotoGP. MotoGP would be cool. I'd like to watch that. I think that might be something you have to subscribe to. I actually used to watch a lot of Formula One when I lived in the United States, and I think those would be services that you'd probably have to subscribe to and then watch online. I haven't seen really any MotoGP. Buy a rod at Coca-Cola. Okay, for fishing, do some fishing. I actually wouldn't mind getting into some fishing here. I used to fish a lot in Florida. If you do a whirlwind vlog tour of the whole Philippines, like what is doing, I'd lose my mind. Dude, I'm going to be doing it. It's going to be a slow roll, though, especially, I don't know. I plan on doing it. Yeah, no, I plan on going all over the Philippines for sure. It might take me a couple of years. I don't, maybe I could, maybe buy a big BMW GS and do it in it. So actually, it's interesting. So the guys I met on Monday, there is a 38, I think they said a 38-day tour that does all over the Philippines. So I actually, JP, that might be on my radar coming up, because I met some guys who actually do this trip. I don't think the current bike that I have would be what I'd want to take. Maybe like a Kawasaki Versus 650 or something like that, a little bit bigger machine that I can put some bags on. So yeah, could be coming, brother. Could be coming. Be there January 2nd. Yes, those boxes. I can't ever say that word. Shipped yesterday. Good for you, man. 3 boxes packed, labeled 1, 2, 3 at my sister's home. Things I will eventually need. Yeah. I did the same thing, brother. I did the same thing. I shipped 3 boxes. Shipped them here in the Philippines, and then I got here before they did. I shipped them in November, and then I think my boxes arrived in January. I got here in December. But yeah, $150 a box, you can't beat it, especially for things like that are a little bit expensive here. They're big boxes, so you can just fill them up. Yeah, I think it was a great way to do it. Yes, good morning, my own Boontog. Time to go to Manila Airport. Okay, Jan. Yeah, depends on where your hotel is and what airline you're riding on. Just the traffic is another factor. Absolutely right, John. Appreciate that. Yeah, the traffic, the security. Yeah, takes a lot of time, so be careful of that. I believe it was Chuck, was it, that was flying out? Yeah, be careful, brother. My own Boontog, Joe. Yeah, cool. So Joe lives over in Leyte. She's a friend that I'm hoping to maybe when I'm over in Leyte, swing by and say hi. So yeah, who's that gentleman that was there? Yeah, in Leyte. So you guys should be friends. So thanks for being here, Joe. Appreciate it. It's easy to navigate because it's a compact airport. The other domestic airlines are in a bigger building, so some walking is needed. And that was my problem, John, is that I arrived, and then it was a domestic flight, right? So I arrived in international terminal, and then from Manila to Cebu is a domestic flight. So I had to wander all around to get to the other thing there. And I just got off a 13-hour flight, so my head's not quite on me, and I got a lot of luggage, and I'm going up steps, and I'm walking around, and I'm outside. It just wasn't the easiest of airports to navigate coming from an international flight to a domestic flight. I think I had 3 hours, brother, and I needed most of that time to get to the next one. Yeah. Bought a fishing boat sitting in Subic Bay, yeah, and we'll travel the coast of the islands and spot fish for a few years. And I would love to get into some fishing here. Love to. Jojo and Joanne. So these 2 girls, both these JoJos, they're part. I met both of them on the website Date in Asia, and just great people. Real friendly, real sweet, really fun. Been good friends for a long time. Yeah. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. John, Tin Whistle. Yes, you have European sports. Yep, sports channels and cable. Lots of motocross and Formula One fans here. Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't. How do they get that though? Is it through? I don't have cable, right? So I wonder if they'd have to get a cable service. I don't have any of that, so I still mostly, and I haven't had cable since I don't even know the early 2000s. I just do online stuff. I do Netflix, I do Amazon, and I do YouTube. You know, obviously stuff like that. So uh, for leg cramps, eat bananas. Yes, man, potassium. I need to get some. I need to walk over to Metro and get some fruits. Hey, Chris, gotta run. If you're still not alive when I get home, have a great day. Yeah, thanks, BJ. Here, hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably be on for a while as long as people are participating and be here. I don't have a ton. I've got a lot of editing to do and stuff like that, but I'll be here for a while. My own Buntag. Yes, Joe. My own Buntag. You need to let me know the next time you're coming out to Cebu and hanging out. That'll be fun. You should. I know you've been out here a couple times, I think, but yeah, good times, Joe. Thanks for being here, and hope everything's good there in Leyte. Excited to see your neck of the woods. I hope to get. I know we're kind of coming into hurricane season there, or typhoon season, so we'll see. But my own Buntag. Yes, the mountain roads in Negros are awesome. Yeah, took a bus from Bacolod to Duma a few years ago. The windy roads at the midpoint. And the Mini Bay town is great. Conlon roads, switchbacks, paradise. I've heard that. I've heard some of the best riding is in Negros and just real scenic. Yeah. So I'll be there. Well, I'm going out to Duma, I think late July with a ride. And then Bacolod City. I'll be out there in October. And maybe the month of October, be riding around a lot of Negros. Looking forward to that. There'll be a lot of motovlogging in Negros. And the drone, all of it. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Tin Whistle. My dream is a Triumph Bonneville. Yep, T120. With a sidecar. Do I have a dream bike or is it the Royal Enfield? I was more. So my bikes are changing. It's a different riding style over here. Completely different riding. You have smaller CC, you have smaller displacement bikes out here just because, leader bikes, they're just not very practical. It's like having a Ferrari on a go-kart track. It's no fun. It's not practical. Very similar here. Your speeds, like I don't think I've gotten over 40 miles an hour. So your speeds are really low here. So my dream bikes change a lot. In the United States, it was my Duke, a 790 Duke. That was an amazing machine. So much fun to ride. Quick shifter, poof, incredible. But here that's Ferrari on a go-kart track. So but yeah, so I'm learning different machines, different bikes here. The smaller displacement machines are pretty cool. I'm not familiar with the Triumph Bonneville T120. That's not a 120cc machine, is it? I would suspect not with the sidecar. But yeah. So just a smaller Honda ADV looks like a really good practical machine for the Philippines. You got 20 plus liters of storage in the seat. You get a top box on the back. I'm still might be getting that at some point, but the Royal Enfield's been a great machine. Loving it, and the community, the guys that I'm riding with, they've been fun. Yeah. Fresh. Brother, I'm like you in my mid-50s. I'm 57, but just like you, I'm loving to try to stay in shape in the gym. Much harder as you get older. Isn't that true, dude? Dude, I am running. Running with John and myself. I've been running since this January. I'm in the gym 4 days a week. And, I still, granted, I'm better than I was in December. I'm a lot better shape than I was in December. But, if I was doing this for 6 months in my 20s, I'd be a brick by now. And now I'm still a little squishy in spots. So I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're laughing with me. But yeah. So Fresh and JoJo, you guys might be neighbors at some point. Yeah. Too fun. Franz, good Filipino family music YouTube channel. Okay. Good YouTube channel, Franz. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can check that out. Tin Whistle, out of polite courtesy, what does my, yeah, man. So my own buntag is good morning. It's good morning in the Philippines. You have my own buntag. I always forget good afternoon. I can't remember what it is. But then good evening is like my own gabi. My own gabi is good evening. So yeah, no worries, Tim. So and that is the Visayan region. So there's a bunch of different dialects, whatever, 30 or something different dialects in the Philippines, maybe more. The primary one is Tagalog, which is everyone speaks Tagalog, and it's also the dialect that is mainly in the Luzon area and used in the Manila area. The region I'm in uses a dialect called Visayan, which is different, and that's the dialect that I'm learning. As I see, that's probably the region I'm going to be living in, and people here speak primarily Visayan, and they understand Tagalog, but they would prefer to interact with you on that dialect, given that's what they speak. So yeah, my own buntag is good morning, and that's really, dude, it goes a long way. You know, if you know how to say good morning, if you can say thank you, if you can say, yeah, I mean, even just thank you, good morning, that kind of stuff, it goes a long way. You have no idea when I tell people, when I see even just, I mean, I speak like a 2-year-old, but they they really love it, and it does go a long way if you can learn a couple words. If you watch my videos, um, I put in a lot of words in what they mean in Visayan and what they mean in English, because I think it's helpful. Christian, how's the weather there? Is it still raining? No, it's actually, the weather's been great. The weather's kind of a non-factor for me here in Cebu, honestly. And I've only been here 6 months. December it was a little bit rainy and it was cloudy, which was great. It wasn't so in it, which is hot. It wasn't so hot. But the weather here has really been a non-factor. Now, it'll be interesting to see, as we get through these, as we come into these wetter months, what I say about that. But the nice thing about the rain, honestly, is it's 80 degrees. It's hot, so it's not like it's Chicago, right? 50 degrees and raining, where you have hypothermia. You don't have that. You can be out in it if you really want. So yeah, the weather here has been a non-factor, but it will be, and the rain here is quick. Like, it's not all day rain. There's been some times where it's been all day rain, but for the most part, it's in and out, quick showers, that kind of thing. There are plenty of British and Aussies owned bars that show soccer and boxing. Some show American football. Just ask around. Yep, right on. No, I think you're right. Absolutely. Yep. Chuck, I was looking into sending myself. Boxes seem to be closest. LBC is about 6 hours away from me. Chuck, I had the exact same problem, brother. I actually couldn't get LBC. The closest one for me out of Denver, I think, was Phoenix. It's like, whatever, 13 hours away. So, but I did find a company. You just had to dig around, but it took me months to find someone who did it. But there was a company right in Denver who shipped it, like 4X, I think it was called. But yeah, you got to look around, and sometimes it's companies outside of LBC. See if you can find some local shipping companies. And the company, like I said, I found was 4X, and they were from Manila and they lived in Denver. So yeah, I struggle with that too, Chuck. I did. Atlanta, do you use US electronics plugged directly into electrical outlets there, or do you have to purchase any adapters or converters? No, I didn't. But one of the things, I was just kind of looking for one to see if I had it, but I don't. So anything that's 3-prong, you have to have an adapter for. But just like in the States, right? Because the outlets they don't have the ground, they just have the 2 prongs. But 2-prong stuff works fine. The one adapter you might have is a 3-prong to 2-prong, right? And that works fine too. But other than that, most of all my electronics work just fine. I had 2 items. I had like clippers that I like to use to kind of shave my eyebrows, because my eyebrows kind of get like that. So anyways, I had my clippers. They didn't work, so I had to buy new clippers here. And then, an air filter system actually that I bought on Amazon. That didn't work either. So you do have to be careful with some things. But my laptops, my Xbox, I have an Xbox that works here. I bought my robot vacuum that works here too. Yeah, all my electronic stuff seem to be fine. My phones and iPads and all that just charge fine. Those are mainly USB, right? But yeah, no issues really with power, other than a couple of items. Yeah. ¿Cómo está? Yes, dude. You changed your name, and I didn't see it on the last live. But brother, nice to see you here, man. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Looking forward to you coming out, man. We need to plan out some things if we're still talking about doing that one trip. So, anyways, nice to see you, and noted the name change on your channel. Good for you, brother. I hope you're good there. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You drive fast there, you hit a dog, kid or a bike, and you'll either be in the hospital or jail. Take your pick. You're absolutely right, man. And that you bring up an interesting point. As a foreigner, we have to be very careful about that, and especially if you're driving a car. I think you open yourself up to a little more of that scamming type of nature and possibility there. With a motorcycle, it not as much, but yeah, and the speeds are just so much slower here. Like I was saying, you hardly ever get above 40 miles an hour. So which hopefully that saves you from getting anything major. But yeah, dogs running out in the streets. I've got a video that I'm editing now of a lot of the riding here, and so you'll see what it's like. So yeah, you got to be careful for sure. By the way, I'm about your age, 53. I'm originally from Akron, Ohio. Yeah, where did you reside in the Cleveland area? Yeah, so cool, dude. I actually ran in cross country in high school in Mentor. I lived in Mentor, and we did a run out in Akron years ago. This is during the 80s. So yeah, so I lived in Lakewood and I lived in Mentor, and I actually still have family that are out in Ohio still, Lakewood and I think Bay Village and all that area. So yeah, very familiar with the Cleveland area. For myself, it's been since the late 80s though, since I was around that area. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks for being here. Let's see, JP, there you go. Have a nice day. So many great places to take your boat to. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I really want to get into boating and fishing too. That's a hobby I really want to do, as well as diving. I've gotten some really great advice around. One of the gentlemen that I met recently, he was like, Chris, if you're not doing any kind of scuba or snorkel, you're missing out on 60% of what the Philippines has to offer. And it really stuck with me, and it opened up, kind of my way of thinking around exploring that. And spending maybe a month or so over in Mobile and getting certified to dive is on my radar. And you can do it for, I think they were saying around 20,000 pesos, which I'm bringing up a quick chart. Yeah, no wait. Yeah, so about 350 US, you can get fully certified to dive. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. John, yes, I always forget that, brother. My own hapon. Good afternoon. My own. Oh, okay. Good noon. Okay, my own. That's right. Because I've heard it both ways. I've heard my own hapon and then my own uto. Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Thanks, brother. Thank you. No Triumph. No Triumph Bonneville 120 is their big engine size. Okay, old school British style like the Infields, but modern engine. Engine side is 900cc. Yeah, brother, it's a big bike. I mean, I know with the sidecar, you probably need that as you're pulling a lot more weight and stuff. But dude, you should just get you a trike, man. It's kind of what those are. Be a trike rider. It'd be cool to actually have that T120 out here. You'd be surprised actually how that would fit in with the amount of trikes that are here. Yeah, that's really cool, man. That'd be cool. It'd be, but that is a skill, a trike rider. Motorcycle riding is a skill here in the Philippines, anyways. But when you add that extra width to it, those guys are intense. Yeah, good for you, dude. JP, it's been a dream. My company has an office in Manila, and I worked with 6 Filipinos in Korea for 6 years. Yeah, dude, I'd love to get a boat. Yeah, that would be fun. I wish you were closer, brother. We'd go out fishing. I'd go. Yeah, is there any Philippines fishing channels? I doubt it. You imagine a 360 on the end of the fishing pole? Maybe. That's all I gotta say. And that's what's so cool about the camera. You're doing stuff that people are not doing. You're really doing stuff that people aren't. Just and having fun and exploring and being creative. I love it. All right, John. If you want to know the fastest way to send packages or big boxes to the Philippines, ask a Filipino in your neighborhood. They frequently send stuff back and forth. Ah, yeah, good stuff. And along that, for the guys that are coming here, use the security guys. So like for me, when I stayed in the Airbnb, I was in this big tower. I was over in IT Park, and there were security guys down at the desk. And those are guys you really want to connect with, because you can ask them like John saying, your shipping stuff, where to get your water, where to get your groceries. They can answer all that question. Where to get your laundry. So let's say you're in a place that doesn't have a washer, they can hook you up with laundry services. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Ask your security people in your building about where to get a lot of stuff. Use those guys. Sean, Chuck, regarding sending boxes, find a Philip restaurant or grocery store. Yeah. Did I miss his question? Sorry. And it brings me to a point. If I, for some reason, skip your question, man, I am so sorry. It's not intentional. This navigation process here is a little off. I apologize. 4 months ago, I was on the other side of this camera, right? So I get it. So if I skip it, it's not intentional. And I do have some metrics in place, though, that came up on the last live, or someone was putting stuff in there, like a link or something like that was getting blocked. So there are a lot of metrics also, too. I copied over from other channels that they like sub for sub, hug, and all that stuff. Those are all metrics that get blocked. So anyways, along that, if I miss a comment, I apologize. Maybe post it again, or email me, or reach out on Instagram or Facebook and say, hey, you missed this comment. Can we bring it up in the next live? And I would be more than happy to. So like I said, I've been in lives where I sit there for hours and the guy just kind of misses my comment either accidentally or whatever. And it's frustrating. But honestly, this is not a very good way to navigate through comments. So yeah. JP, there you go for that support your system. You got, yeah, cool. Rain check. For sure. I'll keep you updated on weather here as I suddenly miss our combo with Angel when you tried speaking some of the cyan words. Places still cracks me up. I know. Joe, I speak like I'm two, so, but I'm trying, I'm trying to learn. I think that, it's important, as this being my home, that I know the basic words, that I can interact with people in a respectful manner. And some of these guys are teaching me the bad words also, so that way I know if people are talking bad about me. So I'm learning a lot. But yeah, keep me updated on the weather out there. I'd love to come out. I want to film Leyte. I really do. It's a place that I find beautiful, and I've seen, she's got an Instagram account. I follow her on Instagram. She's got really stunning video imagery from there. Just beautiful mountainous terrain. So yeah, it'll be good times. Looking forward to it. Yes, Carnivore. Yeah, follow. So this guy right here, Carnivore Expat, he and I have been friends. We met actually on Date in Asia, right? So I've met dudes, good guy friends on that site as well. It's just a really good place to network and to meet people. And so this gentleman here, Carnivore Expat, Jay, I met him on there, and just a great guy, looking to come over here. Yeah, I think he's starting up a YouTube channel as well, probably when he gets here. I believe you are, brother. So check him out. Yeah, good guy. Yeah, Philippines has the most biodiversity underwater. Yeah, I'm missing out on a lot, but it's my plan. It is my plan. I want to go over to Mobile and get certified over there. I mean, I think I can get certified over here, but it's just, it just makes sense to go over there. There's the sardines, there's turtles, there's really this huge, bio atmosphere out there already that is just massive for diving. And then there's because of that, there's a lot of dive instruction and stuff like that. So I plan on going out there and getting certified. By the way, speaking of learning the language, I lived in Korea for 6 years, almost fluent in Korea. The locals love to talk. Yeah, they had so many questions, and the woman with broken English loved it. Yeah, no, it says a lot, right? I mean, even for us, right, as Westerners, we really appreciated when foreigners come to our country and at least try to speak the language. I mean, we did, and it's no different. They appreciate when you try to. I mean, they're already appreciative of us as Westerners, but when you start to speak the language and stuff, it just goes that much further. Yeah, it really is. I think it's important for us to learn, simple stuff, thank you, hello, um, the simple stuff. It just goes a long way. And just even small words like, when people come up to me and said, you want some food? And I'm like, say, no, I'm bug now, or not bug now. That's cold. I'm basug, I'm full. And they just smile, they light up. And, cause you'll get a lot of that when you're walking around, like people want you to try their food and try the restaurant and, just say, I'm basug, no, thank you. And it's really, it's kind of sweet. So anyways, I'm working on my Tagalog now and hopefully be somewhat fluent when I get there. Yeah, it's important. It really is. It's really important to learn and understand and be able to navigate. I mean, so everyone understands it. Most everyone understands English. Like you can get by. It's not like Thailand, right? It's not like some of these other countries where they just have no clue. I mean, everyone here really does understand English. Now, whether or not they're going to speak to you in English, that's a different story. But you can go out in the sticks and you can, it wouldn't be as easy, but you can get by and you can navigate. Unlike, like I said, like even Mexico, right? You travel around Mexico, you got to speak the language to be able to navigate around. It's not the case here. So yeah, carnivore expat guy, right? Yeah. Are you in the Philippines, Mariner? Nice to meet you here. Yeah, that's the same guy. You know him. Yeah, good guy. Yeah, it's so cool. I'm looking forward to hooking up with him when he comes out. Just a good dude, man. Yeah, and that's like I said, that's one of the things I loved about the Dayton Asia stuff is just the building that network and people before you come out. And that would be a great alternative, I think, for people who, because the LDR thing is, I don't think that's not the way to go. But if you can make a group of friends before coming out, that's the way to do it. What's your opinion on the grease traps underneath the kitchen sinks in the Philippines? Dude, I'm so glad you brought that up. That is something I need to add that to my list of cultural differences. I'm getting ready to make this video, like 6-month video, and some of the cultural differences, and that is one of them that I wasn't familiar with. So here in the Philippines, you have these boxes underneath the sink, this metal box. It's a grease trap, and what happens is it filters through, like kind of like in the United States, how we'd use a garbage disposal to get some of the bigger stuff. Although they use these grease traps that get grease and everything else. Mine, I mean, it's whatever. I don't really cook a lot here, so mine doesn't really get full or filled up. I did empty it once already, and I had to pay. I can't remember what I had paid for that. But yeah, they do have those here, and really interesting. And it's been a kind of a non-issue, but something I wasn't used to as a Westerner. Chris, when you get to Negros, I recommend visiting Twin Lakes National Park for some nature therapy and expat yacht community in Tambo. All right, I'll look back at this, JP, and I'll make a note of that. Really appreciate that because I am planning on riding around Negros. So no Philippines fishing channel until next March. All right, brother, because that's what you're going to be doing. All right, good for you. I'll watch. It'd be good, dude. I think it'd work well. I don't know any other blogger who incorporates that into their channel. So, this is new for me, where YouTube is, and with that, I've been doing a lot of training and learning because I don't like to do things poorly. I like to excel at stuff in life, and in that training, they talk about how you want to create really 3 different aspects of your channel. So that way, if you kind of get in an area, so you really want to niche down, but you want to get in that niche, you want to have 3 areas. So I don't know anyone who's Philippines and fishing. That would be a great niche, brother. Yeah, would be a really good niche. Yeah, good stuff. Wish you luck on that. Yeah, Subic Bay. Yeah, cool. Chuck, Global Cargo and Atlas. Okay. All right, some shipping companies there. Jade. Raymond. Yes, Philippines is the most biodiversity underwater. Batangas Sea, Palawan Seas are the most diversified, in Cebu and Bohol. Whale watching are popular. Yeah. There was some talk, too, about how Odette may have had some impact on the Bohol Reef, but I don't know on that. It would be interesting. Yeah. I'm going to explore it. I'm definitely going to explore it. It's here. Why not? Right? like to have the old school British, tweaked look and put on old posh gent accent for giggle because I'm old school London working class. Yeah, good for you, brother. And go to the biker cafes. Yeah, it'd be fun. You know, you just riding around would be a little bit difficult depending on where you lived. In some areas, you wouldn't be allowed to ride that type of machine on the road, so you just have to be careful of that. But you know, some of the smaller areas, I think you'd be fine. Yeah, Raymond. If you're looking into surfing, we got a lot of spots too, like La Union, Aurora, and Chagall. I've heard of that. I haven't been into surfing. I might get into like body surfing with like a boogie board instead of like full on surfing. But yeah, I can see myself doing that, Raymond. Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard Chagall and I've heard of La Union. I haven't heard of Aurora. But yeah, I've heard a lot of those spots. Yeah, cool. Do it. I got scuba certified my senior year in high school, and it's good for life. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's good for life, the certification. Can't wait to vlog some dives. Yeah, brother. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be part of my part too. So yeah, Philippines, motorcycling, and underwater. I think will be kind of my three aspects of my channel. Yeah, really cool. Thanks, Mike. Hey, brother. Just want to say thank you for reading all the chat comments on your live stream. I've experienced some YouTubers that only read selected subscribers' comments only. Yeah, your integrity is noted, brother. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that I'm able to be at a place where that can happen, and that's why too I'm really comfortable with the size of the channel is now. I really feel like I can give a little of that personal attention that maybe some bigger channels can't. I mean, there's no way P and Old Dog and stuff like that. I mean, they've got lives, with 400 people. We got less than 50 people in here. So it really does give me an opportunity to jump in and address some stuff. But it is one of my concerns as things grow and develop over time and kind of lose that connectivity with people. So I appreciate it, really do. Raymond, Batonga Sea and Palawan are some of the most popular diving. Cebu and Bohol whale watching is also popular. Yeah, down in Oslo. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it looks good there. Yeah, and I've heard a lot of Palawan is great. I haven't heard of Batangas, but yeah, I mean it's all over. Yeah, lots of great diving. Check out backpacking with Banger. He rode a scooter from Davao to Baguio. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, thanks, Jeff. I'll check that out because that would be a route that I would do. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, really cool. I'll have to look at that. Filipinos call speaking English for a long time. Filipinos call speak for a long time is a bloody nose. I'm not tracking that one, but yeah. Don't forget burrito lunch later. Okay, cool, dude. Are we doing lunch? I'm down. I'm down for lunch. Let me know. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You know what? Since I'm caught up on comments, I've had a lot of tea and water. You guys come up with some more questions. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be all right. I hope I was muted. Sorry, just burning through this water and tea. And I'm 50. I don't have the bladder of my 20-year-old anymore. All right. Lunch later. I'm down, brother. Burrito even too. Wow. That's one thing I miss, the food. Well, Mexican food. You know, having being around Mexican food a lot, and uh, yeah. So I miss Mexican food. I'm excited to try that burrito. I'll have eye candy on each boat trip. Interesting, dude. You're gonna have a good channel. I'll hook you. You know, not that my channel's massive or anything, but you know, we should talk. And you know, if there's a, I don't mind promoting channels and content that I connect with or relate with, and you know, so yeah, man. When you get out here and you're doing stuff, let me know, and you know, maybe I can we can do a quick collab or whatever. I'd love to get up to Subic Bay. Yeah, go out on your boat. You know, introduce your channel when you're first starting, if you want. You know, whatever. Maybe, dude, maybe you're way beyond me, and you know, you'll be helping me out. I don't. It's hard for me to tell in this format. But anyways, man, it sounds like a good time. It sounds like a good time. Yeah. Yep. Palmer and Aurora province is big for surfing. Okay. Pop Boots now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I do know that place. Johnny Depp. Yep, the rest of the movie cast. Okay, yep, I know where you're at now. Yep. Good morning. Hey, Kendall. Good morning. Yeah, thanks for being here. You should do a video. You should do a video doing canyoneering. I will go over to, what do you call that? Kauaian Falls, or over that. I'll do that. I was just waiting to get a little bit better shape before I go over there. For one, I'll be shirtless most of it, and two, you know, I wasn't in the best of shape before I got here. I really struggled. A lot of it was because of my accident. I had a really rough year last year, you know, just rehabilitating and healing. And then, you know, as you get older, you know, sitting like that, your body just kind of goes. So I was waiting a little bit. So I was a little bit better physically, which I'm, you know, pretty good right now. So, but yeah, I definitely plan on getting over there. Have I been to the Carbon Night Market, and how was it? I have not been over the Carbon Night Market. I need to check that out. So Chuck, there's some things around that I don't quite understand. So one of the guys I was telling me is that they do it during Sinulog and then they shut it down and then they reopen it. But then when I'm watching, like, that gentleman, what's it, Mergem, he was over there for a night market. So I don't know. I'll be honest, that's something that I'm still kind of questioning where it's at and what's going on. I did go over to that place called the Barracks, which is a market area with a bunch of eateries, and I'll actually plan on shooting another video over there, because by the time I spent like half the day trying to find it, and then when I found it, I just eaten it, chicken in a salad, because I was starving. But yeah, but the night market, I want to check it out. John's here. I'll ask him about that. Have you heard of Baguio City? It's one of the coolest cities in the Philippines. Yeah, 9 Celsius, 19 on average. Most of the Baguio roads or tourist spots were developed by U.S. governments before the World War II, I think. Okay, I have heard of that city, you know, and I do know it's cooler up there. I think you can find cooler places, though, throughout the Philippines as you just get up in elevation. You know, there's, for Dumaguete, there's Valencia. I mean, even here, just going up Trans Central and getting up there, I've been to some really cooler places up there, too. So I do know Baguio City gets a lot of attention, but I do think there's some options throughout the Philippines. And Mindanao's got some places that you can get up in the mountains. Anytime you can get up in elevation, you know, 5,000-6,000 feet or whatever, you know, that temperature is gonna drop. But the thing about that area too is it's northern part of the Philippines, so you're further away from the equator as well. So you got elevation plus, you know, a little bit further away. If you go on your boat backpacking from point A to point B, I'll pay the course. Nice. Yeah, too fun. Was wondering what the heavy sigh came from. Was wondering what the heavy sigh came from. Yeah, I'm a sire. I didn't realize there's a lot you learn about yourself as you record. A lot. And you know, what you say, what you do, your mannerisms, your expressions, and I'm a little bit of a sire. I didn't realize that. And yeah. What's the thing about YouTube that was everyone should have a YouTube channel, or everyone should create 100 videos? The amount of self-discovery is pretty big. Does anyone know how to prevent the aquarium hobby? Does anyone know how prevalent the aquarium hobby is in the Philippines. I'm an avid fish keeper. And if I move to the Philippines, I'd like to be able to continue doing that in retirement. Huh. I don't know. It's like JP. Yeah. So as I'm wandering around Cebu, though, there have been some aquarium shops that I've noticed. I would suspect, I mean, especially saltwater aquariums. I think you would be, there'd be, some stuff here. There's a lot of local fish. That would be pretty amazing. I actually I had a freshwater aquarium. I didn't have saltwater, but I did have a freshwater aquarium and African cichlids and things like that. So I'm a little familiar with the hobby. Um, but I think that pet trade in general is not nearly as big as it is in the United States. I used to have exotic pets, like, I had a couple of snakes and I had tarantulas and things like that in the United States, as well as fish. But yeah, the pet trade in general isn't nearly as big. You've got dogs and cats that are here. Got a lot of wild dogs and cats. Just street animals like that. That's also different. But yeah, it's interesting. I have seen some fish, some fish stores that sell tanks and stuff like that. I've seen one, I think. How am I doing, Kendall? I'm doing great, man. Really am doing good. My health is coming together. My fitness is coming together. I'm in the gym regularly. I'm running regularly. Like, I'm running every couple of days. And I'm working out like 4 or 5 days a week. So I feel better now than I've had in probably over 10, 15 years, physically and mentally. I feel really, really good. I feel strong. You know, I don't know how old you are, Kendall, but my 20s and 30s, I felt really vital. I felt strong, right? And I haven't felt that way in a long time, and now I'm feeling strong. I mean, dude, I'm kind of beastie now. I'm getting big. My chest and shoulders, my arms, my legs. I'm really just kind of getting strong, and I feel it. I feel really good, man. I do. I feel strong. I feel vital. It's good stuff. A lot of middle class locals have aquariums. Okay, pet stores everywhere. Dude, JP, appreciate that, brother. Yeah, so cool. Good stuff. Love it. Love it. Boats are expensive in the Phils. My boat here is old and worth about 8,000. Same boat in the Phils is over 20,000. Wow. Interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. Interesting. Carbon night market is an event. Yeah, basically that closes the streets down Carbon, let the food stalls open and vendors up again. It's sporadically scheduled, usually on the weekends. Okay. Yeah. John, it's also too around Sinulog, right? Like, they keep it open. What's that market that they keep open for, like, throughout that whole event, like all January, maybe I think January through March. There's that. But then there was something, yeah. So on the weekends. Yeah. Sporadic though, huh? Yeah. Interesting. They sell aquarium fish at the markets. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't. The pet trade is in that, so I can't have any pets where I'm at. I mean, they do in this building, but I think that's one of the challenges I think you have as a renter, which most of us will be. Is just the ability to have pets is not the greatest. I had a cat forever. I like pets. I like kitty cats. I like dogs. I'm definitely a pet guy. But I've always said you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Yeah, so awesome. I'm glad you started your channel on your way to greatness. Yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and there's another saying along that line, that I learned when creating YouTube, and this is so true. Is it was the best time to plant a tree was 50 years ago. The best time to plant a tree. The second best time is right now. And I think that's a great analogy when it comes to YouTube, because you're really building this library, this tree, and just allowing it to grow and develop. And I wish I started this I wish I started after my accident. I wish I started January 2022 because I feel that whole process and then being here today and then just, the things that I went through, not only physically, but also emotionally. And then that, how that shaped me into coming here. I think that for this particular channel and what I'm creating here, I wish I would have started then. So yeah, good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Looking forward to connecting when you're out here, dude. Yeah, good times. Raymond, aquarium hobby is kind of sizable in the Philippines. Okay, well, especially during in the late '90s and the early 2000s. Cardamere market is the largest concentration of fish pet stores. Okay, all right, sweet. Yeah, there we go. Right, awesome. Uh, you can buy both fresh and saltwater fish. There are many stores that support like in Cebu, but the hobby is only feasible in the big cities. Yeah, yeah, I definitely noticed just the pet trade in general isn't what we would see in the West. There's some store. I haven't really noticed any store. You know what? I actually think there is a pet store in Ayala, a couple of them. There's a dog grooming place right down the street. There's a lot of dog and cat stuff. Uh, but there might actually be a fish place in Ayala Mall. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, the pet trade community is a little bit small. I've actually met a couple of snake breeders too. They have ball pythons and stuff like that. So it's there. It's just small. It's small. You seem happier and relaxed since you moved there in the Philippines. Christian, I am. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I feel good. Physically, I feel great. But it wasn't easy, and I'm still adjusting. I've been here 6 months now, and you know, I feel the first 3 months were hard. Just a lot, a lot to take in, a lot to learn, a lot to do. I mean, figuring out where to live, where to get your groceries. You're missing your friends and family back home. It's an adjustment. It's an adjustment. You know, but you get through it, and you know, you fortunately you're so busy, you don't have time to be wrapped up in a lot of it. Yeah, but yeah, it's been good. I'm doing better than I've done in decades, and a lot of that is I think is around my exercise. Just running and exercising regularly. I have time to do it now. In the United States, when you're working 50, 60 hours a week, who has time to go to work out twice a day? Nobody. You just, it's hard. Well, it's hard. It's not impossible, but for me, it's just. And then I was traveling on top of that, so trying to get in any routine was difficult. So, yeah, good stuff. I'm very happy to be where I'm at right now. Very happy to be where I'm at. Chris, I love your positivity and friendliness and your genuineness. Yeah, thanks, man. Fantastic channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Atlanta. No, thank you. I appreciate it too. You know, um, this is an avenue where I get to be that, right? This is a place where I get to be that. How cool. So thank you guys. Really, I mean, thank you. I get to be that here. I get to show up that way. It's, powerful. It's awesome. Yeah, really cool. Thanks for presencing that for me. It's, yeah, thank you. In Metro Manila is where a lot of fish and pet shops are located. Yeah, yeah, I think you're right, Raymond. I think you've got in Manila and Cebu and some of these bigger cities, you probably have access to, a lot of that kind of stuff, and in general, right? All those services, your restaurants, your pet stuff, your healthcare, something to really consider as you're, looking to come out here are those types of things. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, city of choice is Cebu, so that's good to know. I've said it a lot. I really think Cebu City is the best place for us to start as Westerners, as foreigners. Smaller, but big city environment still. What, 3 million people? Jen was telling me 3 million people. Big, big, big city. But you can get out, dude. It's compact. It's small. You drive 15 minutes any direction, and you're a little more removed. Now you're not in country like United States country. I mean, you drive 15 minutes up the mountain. You go 15 minutes. What direction is that? West, and you're in, yeah, west, and you're in the mountains. So a little bit, but it's different here. Like country living in the West is open. It's not like that here. You still have a lot of people. Yeah, it's densely populated is how I would describe it. Even in like the province areas, you know. Yeah, it's different. All right, where am I? Sinulog. That would be the Cologne night market. Yes. Ah, all right. Smaller scale. Cebu Mercado at IT Park. Yeah. Cebu Business. Yeah, it's the Cologne night market. That's what I was talking about, John. Yeah. During Sinulog. That is just, yeah. Yeah, it looks really cool. I can't wait for that to come back. That's a really fun time of year. Cebu is, I love it. Who knows? Maybe I'm always here in Cebu. Maybe I have an apartment here always, and this is kind of a base, and I travel around different place. A lot of it just depends on, honestly, a lot of it depends on the girl that I meet, if I ever meet one. Not joking. But, a lot of it, I mean, for all of us, right, is we're coming over here, as Westerners coming over here, building these relationships. Let's say you meet a girl in Leyte. Well, maybe then you spend a lot of time over there, or you meet a girl in Mindanao, wherever, right? Or Manila, that'll drive us because it's a family, culture. And it's not like you could come to Cebu and expect your girl to come live with you full time and forget about her family, right? It's not like that in the West. In the West, for sure, you move to, you guys move all over, we move all over the United States, and our spouses and whatever come with us. But here, they're so tight into that family where it's different, right? Something to consider as we're coming over. It's really interesting perspective. Okay, some bloggers love themselves and sure do let everyone know how great they are. Oh, brother, 10 a day of live stream, and God help you if you disagree with them. Oh, right. So I am trying to avoid all this drama. Oh my goodness. I am really, really just trying to separate myself from that. I mean, that's why I moved here. That is why I moved here, to get away from chaos. And I just don't understand why people would come here and make channels and then just stir the pot and create more chaos and crazy. I mean, isn't that why you move here? To get away from all that? But yes, I am so glad and thankful that I'm just off a lot of people's radar, and I like that. And will in this time, I'm just developing skills to deal with all that stuff, and just focusing on what I want to create and the community. That's the other part that I didn't know about coming into making a YouTube channel, is really this community of people that you're building and creating. Love that idea. And then, but also too, protecting that community, right? And blocking people who have malicious intent towards the community. And it's been really, really awesome. So, but thank you. Appreciate it, man. And I want, like we have in this live, dude, I do not have all the answers. I don't, but we can build this community, people who do. We got this resource, we got legal resources, we've got travel resources, we've got diving resources, we've got all these resources in this community. And that is what I'm looking to create on this channel, is a community of people where, as foreigners, we can get our questions answered, we can consider being here, we can potentially move here, we can make friends, we can build these connections. I mean, man, that's what I want to create. That's exactly what I'm looking to create here on this channel. So yeah, thank you. Yes. Dude, thanks for I think that's a super chat or sticker, but thanks for the donation, whatever it's called. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. There is a great aquarium in Coron. Okay. Yeah, I've seen a couple places around. I know Rod over in Amazing Philippines, in one of his vlogs, he walked by one and was talking about it. I actually walked by that same one as well. So I do know there are some fish places out here. I would suspect there would, given kind of where we're at. Yeah. The best place, the best fish to get are the ones that come with chips. I agree. And for me, that's one of the benefits of living here as well. I mean, I love the fresh fish. I love it. I didn't living in Colorado, we had trout, but that was really it. Yeah, so I'm with you, man. I love the fresh fish, and there's a particular fish that's really popular here. I think it's a milkfish. And I think it's called bungus, B-A. I can't remember. I think that's what it's called, but I like it. It's tasty. Yeah, Hemisphere, welcome. See you in Cebu. Drop a line when you get here. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. So, John, when are you going to create your channel, brother? Oh, too fun. I've been working out 2 times a day, walking 6-7 miles in the morning. CrossFit, hold on. Voice is going. CrossFit in the afternoon. Been trying to do some more weight to get in better shape for my move. Yeah, Chuck, I hear you. I was going to say walking's a big key, especially when you first get here. I was walking for hours, Chuck. I would just get out, explore my neighborhood, see what's going on. I mean, for me, it was the best way to kind of get to know the area. And Cebu City is not a big city. It's not. I've walked a good portion of the city, and it's doable. I mean, granted, you want to be mindful of the traffic, and you kind of see some of that in my videos, right? And traffic buzzing by you. But if you're used to city walking, whatever, to me that wasn't really an adjustment. But yeah, man, yeah, no, it's smart. It's smart because you'll be shocked what a physical demand it is here, living here. Because for me, just walking a ton. There was weeks that I was averaging over 20,000 steps a day. Yeah, I don't think I'm nearly that now. I haven't been looking at that, but yeah, over 20,000 steps a day. Some of them I hit like 25, 26,000 steps. Yeah, tons of walking. Have you ever heard of Yul Brynner? Huh. Look alike. That's from back in the day, right? I do know who Yul Brynner is, just simply because I can pronounce that name, but I don't know what he looks like. It's interesting. I'll have to look him up. Not since we're caught up on. Let's look up Yul Brynner. Yulbre. Oh yeah, interesting. Yeah, I do recognize him. Oh, he's been in a lot of movies. The King and I, The 10 Commandments. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Good blast from the past, right? Fish and chips, TGI fries. Highly recommend it. Gosh, I'm not a fan of TGI. All right, so they're here. They're popular. Man, I had this really good steak place in the top of Ayala Mall, in IT Park. I can't remember. I think it's a Japanese place, but yeah, it's good. There's a Chili's also too coming to Ayala Mall here in IT Park. I'm excited about that. If when you look at those chains like TGI Fridays and Chili's, I was more of a Chili's guy in the United States, anyways. Yes, the PH blogger dream is tiresome to say at least. Dude, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but I'm really having fun with it. This part, the community part, is something I'm really enjoying too. But yeah, it's good times. We got just over 2 hours. We'll probably wrap it up here soon. Yeah, really good idea. Tonight on Americans Got Talent, they had a singer from the Philippines. Mark, it is a highly, highly musical country. I mean, more so than the United States, I feel. Everybody sings here. Everybody sings. Plays an instrument, something. It's incredibly musical. Very musical. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't. So that doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise me at all that you would have some of these really big singing talents, because they're it's something they do since they're kids, Yeah. Hello, Eve. Hi. How's it going? Ooh, almost 11. Fried. Yes. Bungus. That fish is good. I like it. It's lemi cayo. Tasty, very tasty. Yes. Yep. Smiley face back at JP. JP is a great, great resource. I've seen him a lot on this channel as well as others. Really informative. Thanks, guys. Do you like your place? Do you think you ideally want something more expensive now or cheaper, since you have some context now about living there? Yeah. I plan on moving somewhere cheaper. Honestly, the 20,000 a month for where I'm at it's kind of high. I could probably get down to 15 easily, and then lose a parking spot. I could probably save 10,000 a month in just my rent. So I am looking, and I'm in one of the nicer neighborhoods of Cebu City. So I'm, come December, I don't think I'll be. I might be in Cebu still. I don't think I'll live here, just because I would like to save some cash a little bit on that. Yeah, good question. JP, yes, I guess Warner travel vloggers come here. Can't get enough of it. I like it. It's plus JP. It's everywhere. Like I had breakfast on Monday. It's not like I had a choice of fish. That was the fish that they were serving. With breakfast. Yeah, can you imagine as a Westerner, you got your fish for breakfast? Very common here. You got your fish, you got your eggs, and your rice. And I eat whatever. I like it, but that Bengus fish, I love. It's lemi. Lemi. That's short in the eye. By development, Manila, Cebu, Davao are the most developed. Yeah. No, I think you're right on, Raymond. Yeah. Davao City, in some ways, I think Davao City is more developed, at least from the information that I have. What's the stat on that? It's one of the largest cities in Southeast Asia by landmass, I think it is. So it's a big city, and the former president was the mayor, I believe. So it's a very highly organized. They have 911 services. So yeah, no, I think Davao City is right up there for me. And if it wasn't location, like it's way at the far south, I think that's where I would go. But I really like that central location for me, especially as a motorcyclist and looking to do moto vlogging throughout the Philippines. Cebu hit it for me, but I think Cebu and Davao are boom, really, really, really good choices. Really good choices. Yeah. Funny how vloggers beat each other up, dude. I know it. Isn't that crazy? I actually had to unsubscribe from guys that I've been watching for a long time recently, just because I don't want to watch that stuff. Plus, I'm busy. It's not like I watch a lot of other Filipino vloggers here in the Philippines because I live here now. But some guys, like I said, Rike just put out a video about uh, um, what did he call it? I think it was white paper marriage in the Philippines. Dude, that is important for us to know. That is so important for us to know. And stuff like that, if you're coming to live here, there's not a lot of people who are putting out that type of content. There's not. There's maybe two of them, or a couple of them, right? And nothing wrong with the more entertainment style of channels too, right? It's just, for me, the information, living here and being here, that kind of stuff is critical. So yeah, but the beating each other up, dude, the drama, what do they call it? Dramageddon? Yeah, yeah. And dude, don't let it concern you in starting a new channel. Don't. Here's what you can block all that stuff out. You have someone who's giving you a hard time, dude, just tune it out, man. You don't have to pay any attention to it. And if you get people on your channel who are not supporting you or your community, you can just block them, and then you don't even see any of that stuff. There's ways around it, brother. I wouldn't let that bother you. You can keep the good in your channel and get rid of the baddies. You really can. I wouldn't let that bother you, brother. Yeah, and if you want to talk more, I'm more than happy to talk one-on-one about stuff. More than happy. More than happy. Yes, your channel, the conversation lawyer in me is apprehensive. The conservative lawyer in me is apprehensive. And understandable. The inner rock star, however, is eager for the attention. Well, talk it out. Find a way. You gonna let him see who wins? Dude, hanging out with me, I think I know who's gonna win. But everyone should do a YouTube channel. I do. I believe it. I believe the amount that you learn about yourself when you film and record everything that you say and do, it's not necessarily life changing, but it's big. You learn a lot about yourself. Yeah. You and I will be talking a lot. You're going to be seeing this guy on my channel too. Just because I do feel the information he's provided me has just been phenomenal. Just being around the city, and this guy's lived his whole life here, and he is an attorney and things like that. And connections, other people he's introducing me to, really culture stuff, seeing how, there's a lot of content on YouTube, right? On maybe what lower class living or province living and stuff like that. There's not a lot of content on upper class, middle class living, things of that nature. So being introduced to and being around that type of community, which John's a part of, has been fascinating. Love it. Meeting electrical engineers for big power companies, meeting an eye surgeon, just yeah, really been great. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. So yeah, good stuff. Tilapia. Yeah, you should try grilled tilapia and hito with toyo camellias chili sauce. Okay, I'll try that out. Yeah, just the fish names I don't really know. I know tilapia in the United States. I don't know what it's called here. Maybe it is called tilapia here. But yeah, no, I love the food here. It's really not that bad. The mangoes are absolutely incredible. They're really, really good. Enjoy your stay in the Philippines. Be safe. Can't wait to get back home. Plane ticket is so crazy now. Yeah, yeah, I hope you get back home soon. Yeah, no, I understand. It's especially with your culture here in the Philippines and being away from home. Lots of OFWs, right? I meet them a lot. There's a lot of OFWs on my channel. There really are. Yeah, yeah, and I like that. I like connecting people to their home. Have I tried balut or durian yet? I've not tried either one. So somebody was telling me there's another vlogger that I've met, really great channel, The American Tourist, I think his channel name was. He's not actively vlogging now, but he did a bunch, like high quality stuff, right? Like he would write his own music for his channel. And he was telling me, he says, Chris, you need to put out there when you hit 20,000 subs that you'll do a balut video. I'm like, no way, man. And then he shows me this crazy duck head balut. But yeah, no, I haven't tried that, and nor is that a promise that I will try it at 20,000 subscribers. By the way, but yeah, no, I have not tried balut or durian yet. Durian smells horrible. I mean, you can smell it in the grocery store. It smells like feet. It's just, oh yeah, no thanks, no thanks. Oh man, Atlanta, yeah, have a tea on me. Great channel, man, guys. Really, thank you so much. It's an honor. And this is fun. I mean, I'm obviously doing this 2.5 hours now. So thank you. I appreciate it. Have I tried pie? Pie mash and liquor, the traditional London dishes, the old school Londoners like me. It's more culturally aligned to old school Londoners than fish and chips. Okay. Yeah, I haven't tried. I've, there isn't a lot. I don't know about that kind of food here. That might be a little bit of a challenge to find here, but maybe possible. But I haven't tried it. Yeah, bungus. Yes, I like bungus. It's lemmy. Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks for being here, Joe. So this is a good friend. Like I've talked about a couple times too, and she might be on my channel. She's in a conversation about what she wants to do, but you might be seeing her around. She's thinking about it, and just a sweet girl. So yeah, hope you're good there, sweetie. Hope we get to connect. Hope you get to come out here and we get to shoot some videos. It'd be fun to connect and chat. Either way, thanks for all your advice too on Let Day and that area and things I'm looking to explore out there. So yeah, hope we get to see you soon, and I hope everybody gets to see you soon. Just a sweet girl, just really, really fun. So I met her during Synologue when I first got here, and her and another guy, they came out together. We hung out for a week, and just really sweet. Christian, have I tried Lanka yet? I have not tried Lanka yet. I've not tried that. What is that? I've not tried that. Chuck, I've been thinking about starting a channel when I get there. Not totally sure if I will yet. Yeah, Chuck, I hear you. And I love it. You know what I love about it, Chuck, is meeting guys like John, meeting guys like Joe, just meeting people. Brother, one of the but you don't have to do that. It's one of the goals I want to do with this channel also is really connect people together. I I talk about this. I was sitting up in social up here in Ayala, and I met this gentleman. What was his name? What's it got? Calvin. This guy's name was Calvin, and he's from California, and he was doing his scouting trip. So we're up there at the social. I was sitting across with another vlogger, Chad Foster, and he and I were chatting, and Christine was there. We're all three just hanging out, and I see Calvin by himself sitting at the bar. And I was like, dude, I just met this guy. He's by himself. Let's. You mind if I bring him over? And that's what I want to do, right? Is just kind of connect people together, and that's what I see with creating this YouTube channel. Is I've now created this network of people where I can do that, and so creating friendships is a huge benefit of creating this channel. You build this community of people. So, but and also a great way too to document your experience in this wildlife. This will be here forever. People 2,000 years ago will be watching this video right now. I doubt it. People aren't watching it now. What makes me think they're going to watch it 2,000 years from now? Oh, so fun. Hito is a catfish and is really good. Okay. Yeah, catfish. Okay, I wonder if it tastes like United States, like Western catfish, a little bit of a darker, a little bit of a stronger, kind of a fishier taste. All right. Yeah, catfish here. Okay. Yeah, I bet it's probably really similar. Yeah. Do you know Q Adventure and the story about Angel? So I do know Derek. I've met him. Great guy. And I don't know the story about Angel. I have seen a little bit on his channel about that girl, but I haven't watched any videos on that. But I do know Derek. Yeah, he seems like a great guy. He is a great guy. I've met him on a couple times, and he invited me out to do some Vietnamese coffee, which I haven't taken him up yet. Yeah. Thank you, Eve. Love the channel. Thank you so much. I do. I really appreciate it. By the way, the liquor in the sauce, which is a parsley sauce, it looks green. It's becoming more uncommon, huh? But harder to get outside of London. Hope you try it once in your lifetime. All right. Yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate that, man. Conda is jackfruit in English. Is okay, endemic in Asia. Okay. Harpon, yes. My own harpon. Is it afternoon? Well, we got through the comments, guys. I think I'm going to end it. We're going 2.5 hours. I appreciate everyone being here. It's an honor. It really is. This is an honor for me to do this. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for participating, asking questions. Those of you donated, I appreciate you donating. It's really cool. Anything you want me to do or create, this is our channel. I'm really about building this community. And if you're coming here to Cebu and you want to get together, I'd love to introduce you to some of the friends that I've made and connections. I'm really looking to expand on that and offer to help people out to get adjusted here. So that kind of stuff. So, look me up. Seriously, look me up. I'm developing better ways to communicate with me because I'm seeing that I struggle a little bit. I'm missing some things, some emails and stuff, but we're going to kind of get that developed. I'm maybe working with assistants to try to help kind of coordinate a lot of that stuff. So, but yeah, really appreciate everyone being here. With that said, yeah, take care, be safe. Empine, take care, right? All right, guys, take care. We'll see you guys.